So the struggle is real, very real. And clearly you can tell we haven't been on here in a long time. Or that I haven't anyway. That I haven't been on YouTube in a long time because we got the music. Hey, real brother. Oh, I should have paused notifications during the live. Where'd my friend go? So we wanted to talk about, because we're always talking about it anyway, the Real Housewives. So we wanted to talk about, because we're always talking about it anyway, the Real Housewives. I gotta mute my other phone. Lord, such a struggle. I forgot about so many things. Why are you looking like my twin? What are we? What are we, twins today? Everybody.
Hey, everybody. We're back. We're back. I think we forgot a few things. Okay. We forgot a few things. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties, but we're back. And hi, everybody is doing. And I appreciate everybody coming in. Real Brothers 32, Auntie Donna, Purple Paisley. I appreciate everybody coming in. We ain't been live in a minute. So
in a cool minute.
In a cool minute. So I guess
you can tell.
Yeah, our algorithm, folks looking at like, what y'all, what? But we're back and we got some things to talk about. Life is kept us busy. Okay, so we gonna talk about some things. Erica, you want to start? Which one we want to start? Which topic you want to start?
We can start with what was we talking about earlier? Um, we said we was gonna talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac since it was the finale.
Yes, the
And now
finale
the
last
season
night.
is a wrap, minus the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
With Nicki Minaj. Um, what do you think about Wendy? Let's start just the season period. Did you think
Wait,
okay when Wendy came with
I don't like
happiness?
the ass. I don't like her. Mm-mm.
You don't like the professor?
Something about Wendy that's works me the wrong way because did Wendy get a new body? Was Wendy shaving her body? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
She got a new
yeah.
body. So Wendy got a new body. Did she get a new body because the word on the street is allegedly that her husband is seeing other women? That's the word on the street in the DMs and everything. I'm just asking some questions there.
You think that's why? You think she felt pressure? I mean, I think most people, okay, this is why I think when you're on TV and you're not
Mm-hmm.
an actor or an actress or what have you, and Wendy was on TV before because she was a correspondent. So
Mm-hmm.
the Housewives is not her first rodeo of being, in front of the camera, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Reality TV. But Wendy also, like when you're a correspondent, basically they filming you, just this box right here. It's kind of like being on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever fits in the box is the only thing that we see. Well, when you're on reality TV, everybody see everything. And so do you. When you go watch it back, we are always our own worst critics. So I feel like she was picking herself apart, like a lot of us do, and comparing herself to other people. And she might have, because last season was Wendy's first season.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been something that she always wanted to do. When she came on the show last season, she had just had a baby. She had the little girl, remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women, after they have kids, are like, and I think it's their last, I think that's going to be their last child. And
Okay.
I think hey, Derek, hey, Purple Paisley, everybody in the chat. We so happy to see everybody.
Okay.
But I think that she wanted to do it already.
Hey,
You know what I
Stephanie
mean?
Renee. Word on the street is Wendy husband was in the DM looking up
I know,
women.
but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that if Fred and Erica Hunter were on TV, I think motherfuckers be saying shit about his ass too. He got a lot of babies too. He got a lot of baby mamas, and all them babies is in the bay. They all got flushed out and went down the sewer. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's not like he haven't, conceived children with other women. He has, but and not during our marriage, but back in high school or whatever. But I think that anybody, if it was you and a husband, people would find something. They would dig out something to say about him. And I think it's like
So the question is women see, I always say this. It is the men who why the women go get stuff done because I think they're the pressure cooker. Why women have to go feel like they can't lose weight naturally. They need breast implants, booty implants. They need look at Wendy Williams. Prime example.
I do think so.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying. I think though sometimes we do it more for other because we are comparing ourselves to other women. Like I just seen a thing on Google today, and it was a ex model, old model, and other people have done it before too, where they show you the difference between they show you their real unfiltered photo and they show the filtered photo. And she was just doing it to remind people to stop comparing themselves to other people's social media reels, and I think it's a true thing. I mean, these young women is walking around talking about, everybody in the world on the planet is depressed now, and it's a trip because it's like sometimes I'll be like, I wonder why. I wonder why people is depressed. Go look at your social media and compare your life to everybody else's life. You'd be depressed too.
Well,
you know what I mean? If you don't know exactly who you are.
Wendy husband had an affair with a white woman in his law firm.
Oh, Wendy husband had an affair with a white woman in his law firm.
Oh.
You know I'm gonna be
Hold a minute. Oh, wait, 1 minute.
I'm gonna be looking.
Wait 1 minute. Okay. I feel like if your man is cheating with a white woman.
Oh gosh.
Okay. We got a problem. A problem. See, I always feel like black men think it's good to have a woman, have your babies, be the mama and all that. But they can sure leave a white woman. Just saying. So if you was good enough to have his babies and good enough to marry, why he can't stay with you?
I think people do what they do for all different reasons. And I think that I think there are black men who get with white women because they're weak men. I think there are black men who get with white women just because they like white women. I mean, people do it for all kinds of reasons. You know, it could very well be that a man just likes the woman's personality. He said, "Oh my."
That's that bullshit. Allegedly, she said. Purple said allegedly. Allegedly. Okay. Now, the person I couldn't stand on this season, it was that damn Candace.
Surprise! But I
ironically,
guess what I've been hearing Candace support. And I feel like it's because Candace made one statement on the last episode about her when she was arguing with her husband, and she made the comment about this is the worst display of white privilege I ever seen. Now everybody like, oh, Candace so smart, Candace so this, Candace, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it was. It to me sometimes it is like that when Michael and her husband get into it and stuff like that. And I think what she meant by that is that, you know, like y'all out here showing your asses on TV, but you can do that without damaging your reputation. But I don't know if she really feel that way because she constantly makes an ass out of herself on TV. I be feeling like this. I feel like Candace's husband be trying to save her.
I feel like Candace has been ghetto. She been ghetto ever since she came on the damn show. Who hits their mama with a purse?
The mama hit her with a purse.
Oh yeah, I would have hit her with a purse too.
The mama smacked her with a purse at a wedding.
Yeah, I would have hit her with a purse. Yes, I would. Would have hit her with a purse. But you know, I wouldn't did it on camera. I wouldn't did it on camera. But Candace, I feel like Bravo got rid of the wrong person. Monique.
I feel like they got rid of the wrong person too. But I do feel like too that you know, I don't know. I think the departure from Monique was like maybe a little mutual. You know what I mean? She seems to be doing well in her space that she in. And I feel like, you know, that when they was coming for her in that way, it's like, you know what, it's okay for me to walk away. Like Monique is in a situation where I don't need this. I'm not trying to become independent from my mama. I'm not trying to figure out how to be a businesswoman or figure out how to be a grown-ass woman on my own. Candace mama is a trip. Candace mom is smart. Candace mom, you know, is a smart woman. I mean, I can't take that away from her. I don't know how well she do on no therapy, you know, seeing that she's a therapist.
Maybe it's the home training, and maybe I feel like Candace's mama compensated so much for Candace and her sister that they didn't she don't know what the word no is. That's what it is.
Right. And I do feel like sometimes,
demanding,
whether it's Giselle or Candace, sometimes I think, you know, just like I think one time we was talking about pretty privilege. I think Giselle had suffered from pretty privilege. I think that's why she feel like she can say the things that she say and not really suffer no repercussions.
TC, how you doing? Yeah.
And hey TC, and I do feel like that that Candace suffers from, clearly she can't have white privilege because she's not white. But I do think there is, you know, like an elitist privilege as far as being at the top of the food chain when you're black, right? You know,
Yeah.
like as like TC would know, or people from Philly and stuff like that would know, because it was really separate, the classes in the black community a lot of times, where if you were a doctor, a lawyer, you know, if you were upper class black, you didn't really mess around with riffraff black people. It was like you was better than them. You know, they had debutante balls. I mean, it was a big thing in like DC, Philly, and all that. You know, like you have upper crust black people.
And they can still
I
be
feel like
ghetto too.
Candace was a part of that life.
And Candace is still ghetto. If she was upper class, what
Very.
the ghetto
And
is
I feel
always
like
coming
the
out of her.
same privilege that she talked about with
Mm-hmm.
Michael and her husband, I
Mm-hmm.
think that she does that as well. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, what? Because I would not feel like that I wanted to represent myself on TV that way. I would feel like I don't have room to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she definitely ain't out there. To me, she ain't out there representing black women well.
No. I
Not
said ghetto, and then you
right.
wonder why. I mean, Eddie Cohen already said it. He said that she makes
Society.
Potomac ghetto.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm like, Candace sound to me is her mother gave her everything, so she don't know, no, she don't know how to struggle. If mama was still paying your mortgage from the last year, you don't know how to struggle, you don't know how to
And let me be clear about the whole thing with her mama having money,
mm-hmm,
because I've also, some people could will argue that, oh, okay, well, which is a point of view, and
mm-hmm,
I can understand how it could get mixed up. Oh, well, why as black people are we hating on Candace because she got to partake in generational wealth, right? Like her
mm-hmm,
family got money. Like white people take care of their kids
mm-hmm,
until they get on that, into, like rich people do that. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? But, I mean, I'm of the mindset like Shaq. I'm like, Shaq, check this out. This my money. I'm rich. You got to figure your stuff out.
Yes,
You
yes,
can't just come along and because if I wasn't rich, you would feel like you had to do what you needed to do in order to survive. And even
mm-hmm,
though I might have money, and even though I might leave that money to you, you still need to figure out your path and your life and your purpose, so that way, excuse me, when I do give you whatever I worked my whole life for, and I pass it on to you and to the next generations as generational wealth, right? That you use it wisely and you don't waste it. And that it's still available for your kids, which are going to be my grandkids and my great grandkids, and so forth and so forth. A lot of times, what we'll do is we'll sit around. Oh, parents got money. Okay, well then I don't got to do shit.
all that
And
fucking
I'm
money
not
off.
knocking Candace. I ain't never knocked Candace for getting no money from her mama. Let me be clear about that. Any comment I ever say about Candace and her being privileged, or I say something about Candace and her mama paying for her shit, it's in retaliation, because Candace always talking about Ashley, who she called wide-bodied, who Ashley is not fat at
Mm-hmm.
all. Like, I just
Yeah.
think that's fucked up. I do. I really think it's messed up how Candace talks to the other women. You know, and she said, I just say it in retaliation to Candace talking about Ashley living off her husband and stuff like that. Like, what's the difference? I don't understand. Like, yes, her wealth is not generational wealth, but I'm married to him. How he gonna, if he live here in a mansion, I'm in the mansion too. If he got a penthouse, I'm in the penthouse too. I'm his woman. So why you need to throw it up in her face all the time that she's not um that it's not her money and that she living off her husband? Okay, well, your mama money ain't your money either. Not right now, it's not.
And she brought her man too. Okay, what's
Yes,
ahead?
TCU generational wealth wisely.
Mhm. She brought her man too. So Candace brought her man living in the house where her mama was paying for. I like
Yes,
Ash.
wait, but Ashley, she brought her man,
Mm-hmm.
but Ashley though was her man was not only helping her, she got her money, but she was helping her mom too. He
Yes,
was
yes.
helping the mom too. Like Ashley was helping her family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I just feel like she just be coming for Ashley, and even when she, even on the last episode, right? She said to did you catch when she came in the venue at Karen thing, and she was like, oh, what is this? Like she tried to act like it wasn't up to par.
Oh, Candace.
Ashley is message too. Yeah, Candace. She tried to
Yeah.
act like it was low budget, like, oh, like I expected more, or or and she was like, oh, saying
Oh,
something about not being able to
but your
see it
singing
was a
career is low budget.
jumbotron. I'm
Your
like,
singing
but
career
then
is
when
low
somebody
budget.
called, right, but then when somebody called your video low budget,
Mm-hmm.
it was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I have with Candace. You feel me? Like Candace throw rocks and then hide her hand. Bitch, you in
Yes.
the same situation.
Yeah. And even when she said about somehow what's the lady name? When the mother was on drugs for years. What was that lady name? I forgot
Oh,
her name.
Mia.
Yeah, she's talking about Mia's mama and how Mia's mama. I'm like, you lucky,
Oh, when she tell,
your
yeah,
mom.
she
Okay,
tried.
be lucky that your mama
She said your
raised
mama
you,
low
gave
budget.
you money, and Mia's mama was on drugs. Okay, but sometimes daddy's gonna take care of the kids if the other parents on drugs. That's common sense, you dumbass. But Candace is like she rude. If I were Mia, I would have punched her ass. I've been fighting on the set too,
Right. I
like
mean, my
Monique
thing
did.
is anybody defending Candace, it's like disagree with Candace for 5 seconds. And let's see if you still cool with Candace. Cause she gonna come and she gonna say something super messy and super jacked up and super disrespectful. And then you're not gonna be cool with Candace no more. I don't like people who don't have the ability to think before they speak. Like I feel like she just let anything roll out her mouth. And that's her storyline, is that you're super messy. Ashley is messy too,
Yeah.
because Ashley be bringing shit up out of nowhere. But I think that's the producers telling her,
Me
I
too.
think they need
Mm-hmm.
for the storyline to flow. And so when they be on vacations and Ashley be popping up and she be like, oh, I heard, like, did you hear that such and such said? I think that be the producer saying, Ashley, we need to bring up this situation. So can you just kind of like, can you be the one to introduce it or whatever? Like, I think sometimes for storyline purposes that Ashley gets involved in stuff that don't have nothing to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Crocodile Dundee. Okay. First and foremost, Michael need a dermatologist. All that money and he looked like he finna fall over and just you could just push him in the casket. Like, you remember the dad? Do you remember that movie Poltergeist?
No,
You
I
probably
don't.
never saw it. It's a movie Poltergeist, an old school scary movie, and it was an old cult leader that was coming for that was in that movie. He reminds me of that guy, but Michael, he was like chill this season. He wasn't on there a lot this season.
I think it was a point why he wasn't on there a lot.
The husbands period weren't on there a lot.
No, it was more. It was
When you
more the
think
women
about
this.
it, it was really
It was more
focused
the
on the
women
women.
this season. I think Ashley. I think Ashley's husband is bisexual.
Let's talk about him grabbing tushies. Let's talk about
Mm,
him grabbing Juan's behind and why Juan likes it.
what? Really?
Right. And no, I don't have
Really?
COVID. It's my allergies. And I'm dehydrated. My throat is dry.
Really? Is that what happened?
Yeah. When
Mm.
I think that was the first season when Ashley was first on there. They had the party. Remember when they had that one party and they all stayed after?
Juan got a little sugar in his tank.
No, no.
Mm.
Or maybe he didn't. It wasn't
Is
Juan.
Juan gonna marry Robin? Yes or no? No.
Yes. I think that they will get married again.
Mm.
I do think that they seem more friends. I think they need to work on their romantic connection.
Maybe Juan ain't interested. I'm just being honest. Mm.
I mean, I think Juan is interested in not leaving his children.
So, do you think it's okay for a man to stay because of the kids and be unhappy? and be self.
I think that sometimes when you've been with a person for a long period of time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do think um that they committed to being a team, and the kids are involved in that. And I don't think that they're enemies in no way. I don't think Juan and Robin's relationship is toxic. I don't think Juan and Robin's relationship is holding them back from anything in any way or anything like that. And so, do I think that there could be something there? I do. And I do think that they need to look towards the future. I think Juan wants a baby because Juan is quickly looking at the situation with him and Robin, and their kids are getting older, right? And all of a sudden, when those
Were
kids are
you
gone,
around? Okay, hold on, hold on. Were you around? Because you played for the NBA. Let's keep it
no,
100.
he wasn't
Were
around.
you around
He
when
wasn't around,
when the
and that's
kids?
one of the reasons why. That's another reason why he want a baby. He want a baby
So you,
because
so you you ready to be a full
basically, you
time
never
daddy?
had a
That's what you
baby.
saying. You ready to be a full time daddy?
He wants to be a hands-on father, I believe. He wants what Robin wanted like 15 years ago. He wants that now.
See, but so Robin's like, I don't want to do that. I just got my body right. I'm looking good, and I'm
Right.
gonna get
She just
up.
don't want to start over. I don't think
Yeah,
she
who
want.
want to do
and
that?
and this is where they need therapy and like someone to explain the communication gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because really what it is I believe anyway, that he wants a baby because he wasn't there when his sons were young and when they were babies. He was basketball is what he was married to. Basketball was his baby. Okay, he
Mm-hmm.
was still a player at
Mm-hmm.
that time. And so it's hard to, be able to be there. A lot of people are like that. And I also think that he wants a baby because he said he was scared Robin messed off all their money making poor.
Making poor decisions.
He was scared of what though?
Remember that house that she was building and stuff, and, and and remember Robin lost all that money the first time. Remember that Robin gave all that money
Okay,
to it.
it wasn't like Robin did it. It was their decision to leave the money with the friend, and the friend robbed it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was scared because Robin messed off all the money making poor business decisions. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, but that scared of being in a relationship. Like, your relationship is different from the.
No, it's not fair for you or your children if you're unhappy. Hmm.
I think there's a difference between unhappiness and discontent, right? I think we're all in a place sometimes where you're sad, you're not happy, you're trying to figure things out. I've been there. I spent 5 years in a place where I was like, where do I fit in? What's my purpose? What's this? What's that? It would have been easy to just be like, you know what? Let me strike off on my own, and because I'm not happy here. But it's like, happiness is fleeting. It's the opposite of happy. So sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not happy. But you got to stay committed to the commitment. When you marry to somebody, it's about the commitment.
The only reason why he haven't married Robin yet. Hmm. Hmm.
I don't think it's just Juan not marrying Robin. I think it's Robin not marrying Juan either. He was the one who asked her to marry him. Robin wasn't necessarily sitting around vying for that. All the ladies in the public kept being like, when you gonna ask Robin to marry again? When you gonna ask Robin to marry again? Robin wasn't sitting around like, I just wish he'd ask me to marry him again. You know what I'm saying? And Robin, it's not like Robin's sitting, doing save the dates and planning a wedding and everything because she's so excited to get married again. I think Robin is quite hesitant herself because she don't want to be cheated on again. She don't want to be left on the
Yeah,
back burner again. And finances definitely hurt a
what he cheating
relationship.
on her too?
Finances definitely hurt a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, maybe before her and Ron, maybe before her and Juan get married again, go to a finance counselor, go to get some therapy.
This is what I think. When people say finances hurt a relationship, I think finances hurt a relationship for better or for worse, both ways. When you don't have money, sometimes, yeah, you argue about money, but sometimes, I mean, I know for me, Like, I think about, it's like when a rich person says, like, when I was the most happy when I was struggling in that little tiny house, right? It's like, because when you don't have nothing and you only have each other, you a team, right? When you first start out and you strike out into the world and you got a partner or your man or whatever, and he making pennies and you making pennies and you all you got, and love is all you got, motherfuckers be like this, right? Then money come into play and you can start being like, I'm independent now. If I feel like I want to bounce, guess what? I can bounce. I don't got to be here. And so sometimes money can hurt a marriage, having more money, more than it can help a marriage. It all depends on how you budget that money and how you communicate about the money and things like that. It's like, but finances is always a thing in a marriage.
What
Ain't
did
never
Biggie
been
say?
a thing though.
What did Biggie say? More money, more problems.
Yes, more money, more problems.
More money, more problems. I'm just saying.
Because sometimes, people will now, and like I said, that's why every circumstance is different. That's why people make, if you make a blanket statement about something, it may not be fair in all situations, because every situation is unique and different unto itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True. But
Like, do you think that that the sword go both ways? Like, I mean, I just think money, period. When couples have to talk about money and how to divvy up money, or how to talk, like, it's just, money is just a hard conversation. Oh, money is a hard conversation with your friends. Shit, if your friend owe you $5, it'd be an issue.
mm,
Cause you
um,
don't like to have to call your friend and be like, "Hey, that $20 I let you borrow, can I get that back?"
people are unhappy, and
For me,
I
a bunch of
feel
people aren't happy and have no idea what they really want. Never understood a depressed millionaire. Oh, the depressed millionaire is because money can't purchase
money
happiness.
can't buy happiness. That's the
Right.
problem.
Money
Money,
can
money
give you
can't
the
buy happiness.
freedom to explore
Money
more
to me,
things.
money gives me freedom to not be poor. Money gives me freedom to live comfortably. But is it gonna buy me happiness? No, it's not.
Right.
It's not gonna buy me happiness. And I tell my dad this all the time. You can have all the money in the world and still be unhappy. But
Mm-hmm.
money can make me it can make my life easier. It can make my life, I don't have to be living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, I like that. But make me happy? No.
Right.
Now I can
Right.
go buy some clothes and buy some shoes and purses, and I'll be happy for an hour or two. But
Right.
after that,
And to be honest, for me, and I
mm-hmm,
and I and I mean, I would hope my friend can vouch for me on this. For me, money only means that I get to help more people around me. Money means that, um that when I want to do something for people I love, that I have the ability to not think about, oh God, I gotta pay, my mortgage,
it's all
and I can't get somebody the thing that I want to get them, or I can't
mm-hmm.
do something for somebody, or I can't travel somewhere to enjoy somebody that I love or care about. So money just gives me the freedom to do that, but it doesn't buy happiness in no way.
On the other hand, I personally have to take it in my own understanding that couples will argue.
Yes, couples will argue and have
Yes.
disagreements, and it's how you argue. Arguments are healthy. Arguments are not are a reality in any relationship. And so it's going to happen because you're two different people.
More money, more problems.
Like you said.
Biggie said, more money, more problems. That's what he
Yeah.
said. So, yes, Derek, if you have a disagreement, sometimes it ain't right.
Right.
Um,
Didn't I used to say that? I used to
mhm.
say, if you're dating someone, and I say it all the time, just hold on until you have the first big blowout. Just hold on until you have the first big argument, and then tell me whether or not you're really in a relationship with somebody. Because when things are good, everybody's straight. You got to
No,
have an
no,
argument.
no.
You got to have a
I'll tell you what
disagreement.
it comes down to money is get a divorce. and you're gonna see the nastiness come out of people. Okay, get a divorce. Y'all arguing over money, cars, and things. Let's get a divorce. Then we'll see who gonna be right. Because that's the nastiness time money comes out with people. Money is simply means end. But how many of us really understands that people believe the dough brings happiness? No money or no can, one person, no matter. I I don't think I don't think people think money makes happiness. I think people, well, my
Oh, we
people.
are conditioned to think that. Oh, trust and believe that. When you go on your Instagram and you see everybody on a yacht, everybody standing in front of a Rolls that don't belong to them, everybody sitting on a Range Rover, everybody and their mama got a new S500, a S550. That's some bullshit. Like I just feel like people so fake. The world is so phony. I wish I could go back to shit when the time when shit was real and I could trust what I seen in a goddamn picture. Like
Hey
shit's
Erica,
phony.
can you share the link for me?
Huh?
Can you share the link to add somebody? Remember how to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see if I can figure it out. Y'all
Okay.
don't trip. Y'all about to
Okay.
see me
Let me
looking
share
down
this.
for a minute. I
Okay,
gotta
let's share
figure it
this.
out.
Okay. Um, um, TC wants it. I just think people look at money in different ways. I look at money in different ways. I look at money as it's gonna make my life a little easier. Okay. I don't think it's gonna make me happy. I don't think it's gonna. Hey, Cecilia and Nadia. I don't think it's gonna make me what is the word? I don't think it's gonna make me happy. Happiness you have to find in yourself. I mean, my daddy got plenty of money, but it couldn't save my mama. He would change all the money in the world if I had my mama with him. So I don't think money is that it's we need it to survive and live and do what we got to do, but it's not. It don't bring happiness. It's only a spare moment. It's only what do you call it? It's only a temporary solution.
Right.
Cause truth be better, is puppy happy? I hear the brother all the time. I'm on Instagram. I'm going through something. I'm depressed. I'm this. He got plenty of money, but he lost a woman. He lost his baby mama, and I think Kim was the love of his life. So I don't think money can make you happy. Yeah, money gonna make his life a little easier, but he ain't happy.
Did it work? I dropped it, I think.
Yeah, that should be. It should be it. Okay.
Oh, it's the StreamYard link.
The StreamYard link.
That's the link. That's the. I don't.
That's StreamYard link.
Okay. Let me try again. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'm just saying. I hear Puffy all the time. I'm going through something. I've been depressed. I'm this. Money can't make you happy. Money can make my life a little easier. Money can make me not struggle. Money can make me live in a nice car, fancy house, all that. But I could be in that fancy house and be the damn depressed every day and don't want to get out of bed.
Right.
I could be in that fancy house and have me and my husband got a Suburban. He got an F-150 in the driveway. We got money, but we ain't happy with each other.
Right. But right. And if you're not happy with each other, people will go. And people go their separate ways. Yes. And people don't wait around. When people are more comfortable financially, I think people leave the relationship easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's not as much of a struggle. Because I don't really need you financially.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just go.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Here I come.
Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys signed a big contract and it's depressed. Dak Prescott was depressed because he lost his brother. I believe he lost his mama. Okay, and he wasn't. Yeah, he got money. Of course, he want his money. I mean, if I'm an NFL player, I want my money too. Damn it, I'm getting my body out here. I'm sacrificing everything. I want my damn money. But at the same time, he was depressed because his brother committed suicide. Money ain't gonna make him happy. But damn it, if I put my body on the line and get hurt and shit, I need money to take care of me. I'm damn gonna pay for my money. Who ain't gonna do that? Was this it? No. So I'm just saying, if Dak Prescott was depressed because he had other things going on, look, we was in a whole pandemic. I was sometimes depressed. Being home with the kids all day. I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't be in my truck listening to my Tupac alone. I mean, I'm a social butterfly. I get out of the house. So shoot, we all been in a pandemic, being at home with the kids all day. We ain't getting out the house. We stuck at home with the kids. Of course, people be depressed sometimes. But money, yes, he got his money, but money ain't gonna make Dak Prescott happy. You have to find happiness in yourself.
That's it. Okay.
Okay. I hope that's linked, TC.
Huh?
That's the link?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So I'm just saying, I
do think that you can have money and be depressed. I mean, you can have opportunity and be depressed because maybe the reason why is because your journey to that place gave you purpose. And then sometimes when people get money, right, all of a sudden you don't know how to it's like, what now?
A prime example, the people who win the lottery, they said after 5 years they ain't got no money. Tell me what's up with that.
Well, that's because people still go into having money with a broke mentality.
True.
So you don't know how to be a wealthy person.
Derek, is that you?
Yes, it's me. Shout out of respect due to it's all hot air. Erica Hunter, long time no see. Team Gemini. You looking good, woman.
Hey, D. Big D.
Yeah, still chilling. Still chilling. Bless your heart, Team Gemini. We cannot be stopped. Period. I've just less than 2 minutes of your time. First off, I have to say that we are all a sum total of our experiences. And so when I hear Ms. Lynch speak about the depression, or anyone else for that matter, I just can only speak for my life. Like she can only speak for hers. Being ex-military, we was always taught to ignore and override. But I do know that we're only human. But I also understand fully and completely that you will have struggle in this life. Ain't no getting out of this. Ain't no escaping this. And so once you understand this and you take this to heart, when you come across these challenges in your life, you're more mentally prepared for it. I do know that Prescott, I know he signed that big contract, and I also know about his family situation. Well, I lost my mom in 2002. All right. Some people never recover from losing their mamas, but my mama was the one that always taught, say, Derek and Brian, look, y'all live on. I'm going to close my eyes one day. Ain't nothing you can do about it. This is a fact of life. And so when you talk like that, it sounds as if you don't have you're callous and unfeeling. No, your mama, if she good, or your daddy, if they good, they simply preparing you for what is. And so not everyone is using this depression thing now in the 21st century as some type of crutch or a badge of honor. And I just don't come from that. So a lot of times I speak the way I do based off my experience, but I still want to be empathetic to people who are going through it. But the fact of the matter is you are going to go through things in this life Ain't no escaping this. You're better off trying to understand your problems, deal with it that way. And my last point regarding the money, yeah, I think that if you have a whole bunch of money, but you're not a happy person, it don't make no difference. Proof of that, I don't know what was going on with Serena Williams, but you know she's got plenty of money. But you may have heard a few years ago she took sick. Why? She said she was bored, and so what did she do? Her dog got some gourmet food at the 5-star hotel. She ate the dog food and took sick. So, so what does that tell you? You got all this money, but the best you can come up with is eating your dog food. The best you can do is eat your dog's gourmet food because you didn't have nothing else to do. You got so much money that you don't know what to do with yourself. So it's kind of coming and going. You got to try to find a happy medium. And so that's pretty much all I want to say. Thank you for your time, Ms. Lynch. Yes, Ms. Lynch. Yes, Ms. Lynch.
Okay, so did I hear you right about people like this new generation talking about mental health issues and stuff like that? Everybody ain't made like you, Derek. I'm just sorry to say. God bless you. Okay, bless you.
I don't
Miss Lynch, that's exactly what I said. Miss Lynch, that's exactly what I said. I said I wanted to be empathetic. Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard that. I'm just saying.
Okay, okay. All right, and you're right. Everybody's not Derek, and I don't profess to have all the answers. I said speaking from personal experience. That's the first thing I said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I heard you. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Right. I hear what Derek is saying though. Mm-hmm. Everybody in
I do think sometimes it's mind over matter. I do think that.
I'm so depressed. It used to be like when it was taboo to say that. You know what I mean? If somebody said that to you, you could like really trust, like, oh my God, my friend is really going through some things, right? Because it's not something that's you necessarily want to, it's not going to get you shine to say that. You're not going to be a part of some club because you say I'm depressed and get a big pity party, right? And so nowadays,
but today,
everybody, motherfuckers 8 years old.
That's my point. Depressed. That's my point. So where is the so it's kind of like I cannot speak to anyone who has these issues, but I know for myself, you just hear it a whole bunch. If you didn't know no better, the whole planet is depressed. So I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. We was in a pandemic. Folks was home with kids all day. We ain't used to that. I'm just being honest. As a parent,
that's a problem.
We ain't used to kids all day bothering us. We trying to work. We trying to clean. We trying to go to the gym. We trying to get our figure right. And the kids is home all day. We homeschooling. Yeah, we gonna be a little depressed. Definitely we gonna be short tempered. They getting on our nerves. Can we say that?
You can, and you have every right to. I'm just simply saying it depends on. It already said it depends on the person. Whatever they were saying was about this pandemic. None of that never messed with me mentally. It just never did. It just never did. The way I'm talking to you now is the same way I talked in January of 2020. Yeah, that's just Derek, but you may not be built like that, and there's nothing wrong with that either. With your way, we just approach things in life differently. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Mm-hmm. So again, thank y'all for having me on your platform, and I'm gonna step down for Miss Winfrey, and thank y'all. All right.
It was great to hear you, Derek.
Team Gemini woman.
Excuse me, Mr. Williams.
Yes, Team Gemini all day. So y'all take care of yourself here.
Okay. Right. Take care, Derek.
All right, Miss.
Okay.
Hey, PC, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Erica? What's going on? It's somebody. Sis, oh, you bad. You bad.
What you got to say, sis?
Okay. So I do want to say that there's a difference between disagreements and arguments.
Okay.
And disagreements, I think Erica, you said, not agreeing all the time. That is healthy. Being able to, get through some things, disagree, and be respectful of each other's position. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the positions have some weight to it, or have something of substance to it, I should say. Because oftentimes people say, well, I do it this way because I've always been doing it. It's like, okay, all right. So we might have to work on some things. Okay. and right, and just thinking about it as, we have to work on some things. Listen, I made a mistake. I apologize for it, and you know what? I really need to look at it a different way. Let's continue to communicate, and then really act on it. Really work at it together. Arguments are not good because neither side are hearing each other.
True.
They're not hearing each other, and that's not good, because it turns volatile. You don't hear each other. You miss what somebody said that was very important to that person, and you just go on with the wind, and then all of a sudden, had you possibly heard that, it could have made it could have saved the whole relationship.
Yeah.
You think about it later on. I didn't hear you say that. I did. I said it a couple of times, but you weren't hearing me. So arguments do happen, and I just think that they're toxic. I'm gonna agree with Derek.
She said, "Ooh."
What point you agree with Derek? What point you agree with Derek?
I know, right? Okay, yeah, there. Thank you for asking, Derek.
What point are you agree with
This
Derek?
is great. Wonderful. Yes. I love this. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Because if we disagree, at least you're willing to hear me, and you're asking me what part of it is. So you see how that works. I think that in this day and time, that there is clearly, we're having a lot of mental health struggles, and we need each other, and we need to talk to each other, and we're going to need, maybe some more help, therapy, counseling, all that kind of good stuff. I do think that there is a segment of folk that talk about they want help and they don't get it. They talk about they want help, and they use this whole thing. They use this mental health thing as a crutch to still continue to manipulate and get away with the things that they're doing. And in all honesty, they know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing.
I do agree with that.
But I do know that, especially with the children, I know that we're working with college students. There were so many college students that were just so depressed that they couldn't go to college. They couldn't be with their colleagues. They couldn't be in the dorms. They couldn't be in a class to talk to each other, have their little disagreements and debates go, back and forth that children need to have,
Right. They were sharing energy.
Yes. And they were depressed, and that's real. That was definitely real. And of course, the parents are thinking, well, my child's supposed to be away, or, out of the house. This is my time, because we have a program that this is our time to do X, Y, and Z. And all of that got disrupted and still to some degree, there are still some disruptions.
True.
So it made us, and then we're all trying to figure it out. We're just all trying to figure it out. So yes, there's still a lot of depression. There's still people who are still working it out, though. There's a strong people like you, Andrea. I'm sure Erica, you have children, right? And there are many people in here. Oh, okay. And you all have listen. With all of you all's ups and downs, you still steadfast, stayed strong, and stayed in there. And I gotta say, hands down, hands up, hands down to you parents who were able to stick and stay, stay that line, even when yourself was challenged, you still hung in there. So. Yeah, we still have, the community of ladies who women, mothers who are rocks in the community. And we have, and I'm not going to dismiss those brothers, those men who are, and are there providing and protecting as they should. So, we still have work to do. But for those of you who are doing it, God bless y'all. God bless you. It is not easy.
I personally think some of our Black men are depressed and suffering and don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
You daggone right. They're
They are
so
they are
depressed.
they are depressed and they're scared to talk about it because what a brother gonna say, you ain't man enough, you depressed. I think some of our Black men are suffering in
Very
silence
much.
because they don't want to say they're
Suffering.
depressed. This shit is hard. If you a single dad, I know somebody a single dad trying to take care of his kids. That shit is hard. And they're suffering in silence because it's a sensitive topic. They don't want to talk about it. They ain't man enough. And so I say some of our Black men are suffering from depression.
There you go. And listen, you know what, Andrea, you're 100% right. Because
Mhm.
as I look at other men in other, ethnic background, Caucasian men, they'll go to a therapist quick. I'll be like, look, let me get on this couch.
Yep. Yep.
I do. I
As a
think
matter
part
of
of
fact,
that depression. I think part of that depression has to do with the way we're conditioned to think, right?
yes.
Like
Yeah.
we don't think that if we are average Americans, or even if you're struggling from one paycheck to the next, that you could be happy still, right? We conditioned to think that you should want more. We're
Mhm.
conditioned to think that you should keep working until you get more, and that you should never let up on the gas of that journey, right? And everything is about the dollar, getting more money, getting a bigger house, a nicer car, having
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
best brands on your back, and all those things. And I think systemically they undermine happiness for us as a society.
Well, if you got 50 Cent saying get rich or die trying, what the message you putting out there?
But exactly, that's true.
And
Because
what the message you
richness
putting
to
out there?
me is
If you
not
got
about
50
how
Cent
much money
saying
I
get
have in the
rich or
bank.
die trying, what the message you putting out there?
Right. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
because for me,
And see,
go ahead.
and here we have to then say, do we allow other people to define for us or create the narrative for us, or are we going to create the narrative for
For
ourselves?
ourselves.
Because I like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I like the certain parts of it, but I know how to filter because I know the code, because I know the language, and
Mhm.
because it is not culturally conducive to us 100%. So just because people say, oh, read Rich Dad Poor Dad, there's, yes, read it, take what you need and throw the bones away. You see what I'm
Mhm.
There
saying?
you
and
go.
and that's with anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. I can definitely learn from other people of other genres, other ethnicities, other cultures, absolutely.
Mhm.
However, we as African Americans, or Black people in America, or wherever the terminology is, we know what we are talking about. We have a specific set of circumstances that has controlled the construct of our DNA. And therefore, we are totally different than most people in the world. Okay? Because we come from a land, was stolen, brought to another land, and now whose land what land belongs to us? Right? So here's what I say.
Mhm.
The whole dang gone world
The
belongs
whole
to me.
thing.
It is mine,
It's all
and you
mine.
don't like it. You see what I'm saying? Since I was sailing the seven seas with the Portuguese and the Scottish and the Irish and the English and the French and the Germans, and everybody had us going around and round and round and round. It is all mine, and I want it all, including the continent. That is mine, and I want them to pay me back for putting me in that situation, because I know that history too.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're over here, I have you, Andrea, Derek, and sincerely Nadia, every one of us have had at least 8 to 10 generations here in this daggone country that we haven't no documented. Not to mention the other generations that, wow, we don't even know. I'm sure it goes way, 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 way back.
Right.
So this is mine, It is all ours. And we are going to have to say, look, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of here. Okay, y'all got this. Okay, it's working for you Asian people. Let me see. Will it work for us? Can it work for us? Will 1, 2, and 3 work for me? But I have to throw away 5, 4, 5, and 6. Then we will do that. Okay. And that's okay, because honestly, they got it from us from the beginning anyway. And then they sold it back to us under the guises of their, with their name on it, and they put their stamp on it and want us to make us think that it's theirs. I know it's mine, y'all. Don't get it twisted. So yeah, the earth is ours. It is all mine. And I'm gonna be greedy. I want it all. And if you don't like it, go back whatever you and your ancestors came from, because I want it all. And all of my generations are going to know that, and things of that nature. Period, point blank, and end the story.
Agreed.
I mean,
I agree with that totally.
I do think if we had some of our Black men will talk about their depression and go see somebody, they will be well off.
Yes.
That's why I really liked the idea about, and I even talked to Fred about it, because we talk about everything. I was like, we watched Queen Sugar and how Hollywood has that male space, or whatever that he built. I thought that was so nice that was incorporated into the show in that way, and that they didn't just stop at like that. It was a segment where he did it and we didn't really see all the whole follow through of it. I think it's so nice that they have created that space and made it a part of the backdrop of the show, because it gives men like a template, right? That if I want to follow that, I can follow that. And even if I don't have like a space where I go out, we could do it at each other's houses, every other month, get together, or we could create that safe space for ourselves. I thought that was nice.
And the reason I brought that up, because my son lost his job, and I know my son very well, but he was acting funny for like 3 weeks. He wouldn't come over, he wouldn't see me, and I was like, "Did you lose your job?" Because I'm very perceptive about things. Did you lose your job? I said, "Come over and hang out with me for a minute," and he said, "Mama, I lost my job," and he started crying. And I said, "You can cry. It's okay to cry. Mama lost her job too." He said, "Nothing to do, baby." Plenty times. Right. Okay. But he said, "Mom, I lost my job and I don't have a good job and you're gonna be ashamed of me." I was like, "No, I'm not. But it's okay to cry. It is okay. You get back up and you can get another job." And I say Black men are suffering in silence about depression, job, kids, child support, all of that. And they are suffering in silence and not having the conversation. So when I brought it up to a friend of mine, I was like, "Why Black men talk about depression?" And you know what he said was, "It's a sensitive conversation."
It's a what?
It's a sensitive conversation to have.
Yeah, because you looked at, they don't want to be looked at as weak.
Yeah. And so I told my son, I said, "Boy, you can tell me anything. You still a man. It's okay to cry, Mama cry all the time too." But when I had a conversation about his dad. I told his dad, I said, "Look at here, you should have more conversations to your son about, you lost your job before too. Sometimes we were struggling with money. You need to have these real conversations, because if you don't have these real conversations, they think we go on trees. The age that you are, you're in a good business, but it took you a while to get to where you're at now. It didn't grow on you. You didn't get it overnight. It's because you steadfast in the same job." And so I was like, you need to have a conversation with your son about these things. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. I could tell my daughter what you're gonna do, but you have a son and you need to have a conversation with him. And I said, "Remember that time you was going through a depression? Remember that time when you was gonna take your license?" I'm like, you need to have these conversations, because if you don't, he gonna think he ain't gonna know what to do.
You think you're alone. He gonna think it's just me.
It's just
I'm
me.
the only one struggling. I'm the only one, that feels like I'm failing. I'm the only one who feels like I'm not up to par as a young man, the age that I am and where I am. You feel like you're the only one.
Yes. And
but
so
it is up to us, though, as a community and as the village, to normalize to normalize failure, to normalize picking yourself back up and continuing to push on, right? Like, people always look for, even myself, right? You know, it's like, you know, during the pandemic, I mean, I took the opportunity to learn a lot more stuff about myself, you know, and it's like everybody wants to be successful, right? But it's almost like we forget to teach young people that you should want to be not want to be a failure, but be okay with failure, right? Because in order to succeed, you have to screw it up like heck of times. Easy case in point is take a selfie, right? That you want to post on social media. You take about 30 pictures before you figure out the one, and then edit it 50,000 times before you figure out how to, this is the successful picture that's going to make it to the post. Right?
Good example.
All the other 29 pictures are considered failures for you to get the one. You know, somebody else had a great example about babies learning how to walk. We champion them. They're learning how to walk. We be like, it's okay. Come on. Get back up. I'm going to hold your hand. And we don't do that with our young people. I can see how a lot of young people these days in 2021 can be depressed. I got a niece who, you know, says it religiously, right? TC, it's like, it's like kids are in a really precarious situation. I was not like that as a kid because I saw in the future where I was going to be able to, and I think my parents did too, saw that I'm going to work hard, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be able to advance my family. You know, like they did this and I'm going to do it more than that, right? This is, like they keep saying, this is one of the first generations in a long time that kids don't see themselves attaining more financially than their parents.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see I seen myself as my mother and father had businesses and stuff. I seen myself making more money than them because I was a little more educated than they was. But as in a sense is I still was bad with money, which to this day my daddy ain't bad with money. I ain't buying it. Okay, so his generation is I'm saving. But me, I'm like, I'm spending. So even though I got better education, my dad is like, that money's gonna be in the bank. So it's almost like a balance because I got the education, and my daddy got more money than me. So I'm just saying, it's almost in a balance.
It is a balance. It's definitely a balance because go ahead. I'm sorry, TC.
No, all of that you're absolutely, both of you are absolutely right. I wanted to just chime back into talking about what Erica said, and that goes back to what I always preach about. And I know folks will be like, "Oh God, here she go with that bull crap again." Sisterhood and brotherhood and young people. At least when we were growing older, when we were growing up, and you said it, Erica, remember you had the societies, you had the cotillions, you had the whatever, we had the church hops, we had the sock hops, we had we went to church and we had various conferences and we did things. We had the Easter, we had to do the Easter thing with, the baby Jesus and stuff. And we had to, you know what I'm saying? So here you go. Now you're getting together and with your peer group, and you all working together and doing other things together. Somebody will notice you. Somebody will say, or the Sunday school teacher, the coach. So somebody's gonna say, no, you know what? TC was a little sad today. What's going on, whatever. And then one of the kids might say, you know what, let me go talk. And that's how we did back in the day. Let me see. We talked to each other. We did, because we didn't have the the emails and all of this keyboard gangster bull stuff, we talked to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and
Face to
and and
face.
and and we didn't, that's where we wasn't snitching on each other. We did it for each other, the guys and the girls. We did it, and we had a communication that was a little different than today.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then we had support systems that were a little different. The support systems are slowly but surely, just because of age, are dwindling down. So you don't see, the churches are still in existence, but the church houses are not full anymore.
No,
Folks
good
have
point.
transitioned to the ancestors just because of life, just life,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
and
like.
now just life. So what we need now is we need to repair,
Mhm.
restore
Mhm.
our our cultures and our generations. Is it going to be like it was? Absolutely not. We already know that's not going
Right.
to happen. Now we have to make it conducive for now, and then make it so that our generations to come will be progressive for the future, and they will be able to, like you said, Erica, Andrea, you said it, they will be able to accept that, okay, I lost my job, okay, and pick it back up.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I lost my job, or I lost my girlfriend, or I lost something, 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 and this, that, and the other, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay, mom, I'm coming over to cry on your shoulder. Okay, and then when I leave out of here, I'm ready to get back up again.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and and we not have unrealistic expectations, and they thinking that, oh my God, you're gonna hate me if I don't, or you're gonna hate me if I don't have that job. You're not gonna love me. You're gonna be disappointed. No, son, I love you. It happens. That's
Yeah.
life.
And that's what I told
You
him,
know,
and
that's
that's what I
support.
told him. But I know his patterns. I know his behavior too. So I know he was acting a little different. It's not normally him.
See, and that's the other thing. You saw it. You knew your son,
Mhm.
and you knew something was going on. And okay, I'm waiting for him to say something.
I was waiting for like 3 weeks. And I said, "Boy, if
Yes.
you lose your job."
It's a mother. They be waiting. They be like, Just, it was funny because when I first came out, in the family, at LGBTQ, my mother and father was like, I was like, y'all not surprised? And it was like, no, we was just waiting for you to tell us. We was
Mhm.
just waiting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mothers and fathers know these
Yes,
things.
we know our children.
So,
Yes, we do.
for the most part, they do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We know our children.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
They,
Plug in.
that's that love. That's amazing. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
But my brothers, stop suffering in silence.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all
And
Yes.
not gonna.
support one
You're
another.
gonna
You
implode. You're gonna
Yeah, and support
implode,
one another.
and
When my neighbor wins, we all win. When my friend wins, we
thank
all
you.
win. When I win, we all win. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's like we have so many resources between all of us and in the villages around us. And all we have to do is share those resources.
Mhm.
There you
There's
go.
enough for everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. And anybody, and I'm gonna go on this one because y'all, yes, please, because listen. There's enough resources for everybody. We live an abundant life because my Father who art in heaven says
Mhm.
so.
That's right.
Hmm.
Okay, and so there's no lack. There's no lack. It's just figure it out, pray,
Mhm.
and then get out there and do the work, because we know work without faith is something. I forgot to say it. Y'all know what I'm
It
talking
is
about.
very
Work
true.
It's
without faith
sad.
is dead. Work without faith is dead. That's what they
There you
say.
go. There you go, sis. You
I
see
know
what
that
I'm
Bible
saying?
scripture. I know that
Say
Bible
it.
scripture.
There you go.
Work
I
without
know
faith.
that's
Yeah,
right.
I know that Bible scripture.
Exactly. And that being said, I'm getting ready for election day tomorrow. And
All right.
Andrea, and to Real Mamas, Real Problems, Andrea, thank you so much
Oh, I'm
for
gonna send this out.
supporting.
I'm gonna put it on the community wall. I promise.
Okay, I appreciate y'all for that and everything. And in 35 states, the election's going on. So everybody, do y'all due diligence where you are, because we yeah, do your own due diligence, because it's
Vote, vote,
definitely
vote, vote, vote.
important.
Yes.
Yeah, some. But anyway, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. It was great, talking to the sisters and everything. And
it was so good to see you and talk to you.
Yes. We
same
ain't been
here.
live in a minute, okay?
I know. But you know what? Listen, we have challenges in life.
Yeah.
We get past those. Grown folks get past them.
That's true.
And we communicate. And always, you have Andrea, you're definitely a communicator. Anybody ever say you don't communicate? No. Wrong. You're a communicator.
Okay.
And I appreciate that about you. And I know Eric is a communicator because boy, y'all can ham it up. So that's a good thing. So thank you all. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna drop. I'm still listening. I'm just getting ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Thank you. And good evening to the chat. And to my brother Derek with his stubborn behind. Okay, get out there and vote, Derek.
Always.
Okay, bye. You want to talk about Will and Jada now?
Huh?
You want to talk about Will and Jada now?
Entanglements.
Hey, Kimberly Black, what's up?
Do I think that
Jada
is out here making my boy look weak? You know, Mr. Get Jiggy with it. I don't think I don't think she's making him look weak. I don't.
Okay.
I think that what they have gone through and what they're going through and the journey that they're on at this phase of their marriage is normal for people who've been together for over 2 decades. I don't think other people think it's normal that are watching it play out in the media, because maybe sometimes we don't have people that are sticking in relationships for 20, 25, 30, 40 years anymore like they used to. Because I think if we did, there would be more understanding. Mind you, I just, like, I'm like this too. I always be like, I gotta know the source from which the comments have come from. Cause if you ain't been married as long as they've been married, I just don't think you even know.
Okay.
Like, you have not encountered the things that they have in space. How are you going to say, what they should or shouldn't be doing, or what's cool or what's not cool? Because you might think that what they've been going through is not cool for you. To the average person, an open relationship for almost 3 decades is not normal. From a person who hasn't been in a relationship for almost 3 decades. That's my point, Derek. I love you to death, but you can't say to the average person an open relationship for almost 3 decades is not normal. Are you talking about to the average person that's been in a relationship for almost 3 decades? That average person? That's been in a relationship with the same person since 14 years old? Like, I mean, what do you think about it, Andrea? Yeah.
I was only married 6-7 years. Okay.
No, I mean that's what I think. I mean that's what I'm saying is I don't think that I consider the source, and so it seems rational that when I consider the source of, like, Derek making the comment about the average person in an open relationship, for almost 3 years, that's decades, that's not normal. Clearly, the source is somebody that's not in a relationship for 3 decades. So, as somebody who has, am I going to be like, let that person tell me it's not normal, or it is, or isn't normal? No. Even when things are great, I don't judge other people's relationships necessarily, and I can't say what's right for them what they do is I'm hoping they're talking about it and it's right for them.
Because I mean, I
Most
put
relationships want to have a relation like that for 3 decades. Well, they didn't have a relationship like that to start out. They weren't open from the beginning. I think that's, the key in that situation as well. It wasn't necessarily quote unquote, they didn't have that time of openness. And I don't think I don't think, do you think their relationship is open now, Andrea?
uh you want me to give my honest
Because I
opinion?
agree with Derek when he said most folks won't have a relationship for 3 decades like that. I agree that.
I will
Go ahead.
say this. Not hearing what Will said, but only hearing what Jada said. Okay, when I listen to her, she ain't my favorite person anyway. Because sometimes I think she's a little weird, and her kids is too. And them and I said it, they all weird to me. But I will say that my sister Jada has been in love with Tupac, and I will say it's almost in a sense she have loved two men. And I'm gonna say this. I still think that she carried a torch for Tupac, and I don't, and maybe sometimes you got that brother over there. He got the money, the power, the fame. You got the brother over there. He a little rough. He ain't gonna have that, and you decide to pick the brother who got the money, the power, and the fame. And and
It all
and
depends on.
hold me, hold me,
Don't you
hold me,
think it all
hold me,
depends on what's
hold
important
me,
to you, though?
hold me, hold me. And
Go
I
ahead.
and I'm gonna say it to say this. And then Tupac ended up dying. And it's the song says, if you can't be with if you can't be with the one you love the one you with. And I'm just saying, for me, I think she chose the if you can't be with the one you love the one you with. And I just think that's why some of the unhappiness comes from with her. And
Okay.
I think some of the unhappiness comes from being a mom, ain't having the biggest career as your husband. You trying to figure out who you are. You in your 40s. It's all playing in the sub. And then you remember that love that you had for that one brother, and he ain't around no more. And I'm just saying, that I don't think they're ever gonna get divorced. No. I think they're comfortable with each other, so they're gonna stay together. Yes, I do believe that. But I'm just saying, in a sense, she got love for Tupac. That's what it is, and that man has been in their marriage the whole time. Just saying, that's my perspective.
I mean,
Just saying.
I get it. I get it.
And
I
that's
mean,
what
that
and
does.
that's what I see. I see that Tupac has been in their marriage. So how do this what I'm thinking, Will thinking, how do I compete with that when I know my wife is in love with a man and she ain't gonna never have? How do you compete with that? Ask the question of that.
I don't think he's trying. I don't think he's
I think he
competing with
did
that.
back in the day. I think he did. I think he did until I heard. Shout out to Tough Love. I heard he said he told her go find her happiness and he gonna find his happiness.
No,
I
okay. Hold on. To
mm-hmm,
that comment, he did say that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay. To that comment,
mm-hmm,
me and my husband had that same conversation
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because it said that when you really love something, you
mm-hmm.
will
You
let
let
it
it go.
go.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. So that
mm-hmm,
was a loving thing that he did.
mm-hmm,
And she was going through it. A lot
mm-hmm.
of people talk about men having midlife crisis. Sometimes I feel like I had a crisis. I don't know, not like no midlife crisis. I feel like I'm on the other. I'm still exiting that crisis
Mm-hmm.
because I think that when you apply too much focus only in one area,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or rewind, because I had a conversation with Fred about this, and we had a whole conversation, and I told him, I said, I think that what I believe I did was I really I had plans for my life, right? When
Mm-hmm.
I met him, I was like, he the one. I'm gonna marry him. We gonna do these things. This is what's gonna happen. When I moved out, I planned it. When I went to the military, I planned it. When I came home and had a baby, I said that that's what I was gonna do. Come home, we was gonna have a child. When we got married, I planned that. Every part, when we bought a house, I came to him and I said, it's time for us to buy a house. Everything that we did, I planned, right? When we had Dougie, I said, the baby's 2, we should try to have another one so they're not too far apart. We had another baby. It wasn't until my kids got grown that I realized I had no plans for after I was no longer a mother every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't have no plans for myself. I was so devoted, right? And so focused on being a good friend and a great daughter and the best mother that I could be and raise 2 productive kings for society and somebody's daughters. I was so focused on that and being a good wife, right? That when all of a sudden the kids packed their stuff and had lives of their own, I was like, I didn't know what to do.
Yes, Derek, you can come on the panel again.
I kind of lost myself for a second. And I think that Jada might have had, listening to her Red Table Talks and stuff like that. I think that it's very easy to lose yourself if you're not careful in situations. Right? I ain't gonna say in your kids and your husband, in your titles, right? Of wife, mother, friend, sister, confidant, all those things, you can lose yourself in that. And I think that's what happened. So when she was saying, I don't know what's wrong with me, I'm not happy, and he said, go find your happiness, I think he was just saying, and as women, we could be so complicated. Cause I'm like that too, where I'm like, I'm just not happy.
You, Derek?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I think it was Purple Paisley who was saying, it goes against her morals. I believe that it go against my morals too. It don't mean that I didn't put my husband through it, just like Jada put Will through it. I mean, here's the thing. I never thought that was going to be me. I never thought that was going to happen to me. I never thought I was going to be vulnerable. And Dre can tell you because she know the whole history of it and she traveled through it with us, right? And did you ever think
what I say? What did I tell you? And what did I tell you? What did I say to you? What did I say to you?
What you mean? What did you say to me?
Yeah, what did I say to you?
Oh, you never condoned it. You never was cool with it. You never was okay with it. You always was against it or whatever. Because in hindsight, at the end of the day, it's like when I'm talking to you about like how you say you bad at money and I'm talking to you about your money and you get mad at me because you're gonna do what you want to do with your money, but I can see the bigger picture and you can't, right? That's all that's what happened. My friend could see the bigger picture and I couldn't. But in that place, I was unhappy. I was telling my husband, I'm unhappy and I don't know why. I was asking for help from the people around me and nobody was giving it to me. I knew I was vulnerable. I knew I was exposed. I knew I was out here in these streets wide open and shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're human. Luckily for me, I have an amazing person that I'm married to, who understands that everything is not just about, it's not just cut and dry. Like, oh, you did that. So that means you don't love me anymore. Or that means you don't want this life no more or whatever. And luckily for me, was able to be honest with myself and say that, like when you was bringing up the stuff about Tupac and Jada, I was like, to me, it was like my situation. But I married a whole person, right? I didn't just only marry somebody that was good for this one thing. What it seemed to me is that Jada was like cool with certain things about Tupac, but he ain't a husband, right? Or it's certain things that's cool about that young man that I'm dating. He's a beautiful soul. If I was at a different place in my life, I might be in a relationship with him, right? But to me, Will represents her total package. And he also represents somebody that's going to accept her for everything that she is, even when she makes mistakes. That's what I think about that. Morally, do I think it's right? No, I never thought it was going to be me, but nobody ever does. I don't think anybody sets out to do something like that, or to have an affair or entanglement or whatever you want to call it. People don't set out and seek it out like that necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay, hold on. Okay, I got a quick question. Quick question. Did Jada take advantage of Augustine? I'm just asking some questions now. Did she take advantage?
I would say if he knew everything about the situation and he was honest. See, the thing is, people don't be privy to people's inside conversations. You just make assumption as an outsider looking in, right? I was always honest. Mm-hmm. The person that I was with always knew I was never leaving my husband, even when I thought that might be something that would happen, right? He always used to just say, that it's not you. But that was one of the things that he loved about me, right? Is that he's like, I know what kind of woman you are. And if he was doing and giving in the way that you needed him to, if he could communicate better, if he could just talk to you more and be there for you on an emotional level, you wouldn't even be here. He used to say that all the time because we was honest.
Okay, so looking on the outside of Augustine and Jada's relationship, I feel like they made him act like he was crazy. He didn't know what he was talking about, blah, blah, blah. So Tough Love brought this conversation up, like, when R. Kelly messing with younger girls, we ain't saying nothing. But when Jada messing with a younger man, we all champion her up.
He grown. He grown.
I'm just asking.
He over the age of 18.
Calm down.
Okay, she didn't like that nigga.
I'm just asking, did she take advantage of Augustine in a way? Did she take advantage of him in a way that an old woman know better? And I'm just saying, did she take advantage of him in a way, because it did look like that he was lying, not telling the truth, and and everything. So it made, to me, they made him look like he was lying. So
I think they didn't know how to handle it. I think they did. I think it snuck up on them, just like it snuck up on me. I think the exposure snuck up on them, and they didn't know how to handle it publicly. I don't think it was something that they ever thought was just going to get out there. I think they thought that, it was going to be discreet and just between them. And then when it got out, they didn't know how to handle it at first. And I think the consensus was that the best way to handle it was just to be honest and say that, yes, it happened. But there's a journey to get there, though.
Well, for myself, no, I've never been married, and all I did most of my adult life was cheat. So you can take that for what it is, but I also think that I always use this analogy. If you like Coke over Pepsi, both of them are colas, but you like one over the other. You made a judgment. I tell my daughter all the time, don't never ever let nobody tell you that you don't judge. We judge every day. As you being two females, I'm quite sure y'all have been to the mall and saw some shoes that you thought were ugly, but they still can fit you well. You just ain't like them. That's a judgment. So I don't subscribe to that. Don't judge people. Will Smith, for as great an actor as he is, and I should tell you for full disclosure, I actually saw him graduate high school because my then girlfriend here in Philadelphia marched with him. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at their relationship, that's something, that relationship and the way they raise their kids, as a matter of fact, 9 out of 10 people just wouldn't ride. As an example, when Willow Smith was around 17, she posed partially nude with this white guy. Never would Damaris do that. And I don't think you would allow your children to do such a thing. He admitted just a year or two ago that he left his oldest son to die, and he lost all that time with this young man. But yet still he had time for Jaden and Willow. And then you have your son. Again, this is just a judgment on me. My son is not going to wear a kilt or seek emancipation from me. I have to ask, why would what child wants to free themselves from their parents in such a public, legal way, unless where there's smoke, there's fire, in my estimation. But we're going to talk about their relationship. I would dare say that because Jada Pinkett Smith is a name, and August Alsina is a young dude, and you have, because I done dealt with older women, I wouldn't say that Jada used him as a crutch. I would say it's the other way around. He for all we know, he could have been using her. We don't know. We don't know, and we'll never know. But see, the reason why we're talking about this is because they made it so public, and that's another judgment of me. Never would I go on a red table talk and air out my dirty laundry before the world to the point that you had your husband in tears. That's something that should have been done behind closed doors. So I often wonder, is this all just a ratings thing? Just last week, and I'm glad and happy, I'm glad that they got married. Kenny Lattimore has married Faith Jenkins, but if you remember a few years ago, for no reason, the church, the pastor's daughter, Shantae Moore, airing out all their dirty laundry with how they parent their child, all for ratings. So my whole thing is that whole red table, that whole dynamic. This is why we're talking about it. But with most people, with the average person, and we can only we not the rich or the elite. So that's the reason why I keep saying the average person. The average person is not going to go live and air their dirty laundry, especially with regard to the bedroom and their kids. They're just not going to do that. And that's the reason why I brought all that up. But all those things aside, with regards to Tupac, the woman made it clear that she had feelings for him. Now, if I'm her husband, I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear that. It may very well be true, but as a man and having my pride, you don't tell, because if I start saying that whomever he liked to her, it's gonna eat her. Like, don't be bringing that woman around. Don't even, what you talking about to me for? Or why are you even making it public? So, like I said, everything ain't for the internet.
Well, I don't think they initially wanted anything to be public. I think that they only were honest about it after there became rumors about her and the young man. And that's what Andrea was saying, how initially they denied it vehemently, and it almost made him seem like he was delusional and wanted a relationship with Jada but didn't have one, when really the entire time they were having an affair.
Okay, well, this is the reason why I say about bringing stuff to the public space. They don't owe us an explanation on how they live their life. That's something that should have been done in my view, in behind closed doors, because now that the cat's out the bag, I mean, because what it is only confirmed what other people's already saying anyway about this open relationship. And that's the reason why I brought that up earlier. Once again, the average person ain't gonna go 3 days, much less 30 years, and we having this open relationship. Y'all some sports fans, so you may know about the guy from the Utah Jazz when he was playing, Andre Karolinko, the Russian dude. His wife allowed him to have one affair per year. I took my hat off to that boy, but most people ain't gonna do that. That's just beyond the pale for most people. Most women ain't gonna let their man just. You can go ahead and step out on me just once a year now, just once, okay? And you better promise. Just not gonna happen. And when Miss Purple Paisley said about sharing, no, the average person ain't. They just ain't finna.
No, the average person isn't. But it's also because we don't talk about it. I mean, this is what I believe too. I mean, I grew up with my great grandparents, right? I never knew about them as young people really until after they passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out that even my grandmother had a guy that she was interested in. My mom knew who he was. She used to be around. Like, if you ever talk to an old couple that's been married a long time, a lot of things have happened over the course of those decades that they've been together. It's just not. And I used to tell Andrea all the time, like, I'm never. Like you said, you're going to be discreet about what goes on in your personal life. I'm not going to say nothing necessarily to embarrass my husband. But one thing I know about my husband is that he's not embarrassed by the truth. He going to stand by his truth all the time. The only reason why I brought up about our relationship is because we was talking about Will and Jada and what people were saying. And it's like, I can't sit here and be like, I'm going to talk about her situation like I know, but not divulge why I know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
And it's
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I know because I've been there. And I never
Yeah.
thought I was gonna be that one.
Well, like I said,
But
I've never been married, so I can't speak to wedding vows.
I'm
Like I
just like,
said,
I just want people to, it's like, try it. Be with somebody since you've been in high school. Okay. When you're in
yeah,
high school, you really don't even know yourself and who you are. Right.
yeah.
You, in relationships like that, the relationship ebbs and flows and you grow and change and do all that stuff together. Right. I'm not the same person that I was when my husband met me. But every
Well,
person that I have been along the way, he's loved every one of those people, and I've loved him the same way.
well,
I
clearly that's clearly a deep love because most men. I was speaking about pride. Most men that would eat them to their core. So I had to, kudos to your husband. He sounded like a good dude. But we was talking about. I was mentioning about the judging thing. That at
mm,
most guys, that's just something we can do it, but y'all can't. And so, like, just the
Yeah, that's
fact that
like the standard y'all got. Okay, I'm just saying.
it is.
Mhm.
I'm telling I'm telling Mrs. Hunter now. Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna ask
this
because you're a
is
guy. I used to tell when
that's
Andrea and when we had a conversation about this, remember? And I was like, I wonder if the reason why men have such a problem is because when you actually engage in sexual
yeah,
intercourse, like, of course the man is inside of us, right?
yes,
But it,
yes,
it always seemed like a man when you with a woman and you could go wash her off, right? You get in the
yes.
shower and she's off you, right? We don't deposit anything into your body
Hmm.
during sex,
Right.
right? So it's like subconsciously, it's like mentally, it's almost like a guy can't get that out his head, right? That somebody else was had entered that space.
That's all it is. That's all it
Yeah.
is. And it's
I'm gonna
they
say
always
all hell to the
it
Most
always
High.
is so
Running
like
about hell.
I wouldn't tell you that I would be lying if I told you anything other than that. But
I always thought it was that.
that is just the actual fact of the matter. No, y'all can't do that. James Brown said, it's a man's world. It's another line to that song that people don't talk about, but that's basically the long and short of it. And so I can't imagine the day that Mr. Hunter heard what you told him, because
Oh, you can
most
ask
dudes ain't
Andrea.
finna. Most
Andrea, no.
most dudes ain't finna. They just not. They just not. So kudos to him. Good dude. I'd like to meet him. Good dude.
Yeah, he's a great
Yes,
guy. I'm lucky.
yes, yes.
I'm very
Yes.
blessed.
Damn it, he a great guy. Yes. Okay, that's why I was fighting for his ass. Oh wait.
Stupid.
Well, bless you too, Miss
But
Lynch. You a good woman too. Yeah.
And put it like
But
this: they were both great guys,
yes, they
right? I
both
will
great
say
guys.
that. I will
Yes.
say that. I was blessed that they were both great guys. And
Mhm.
even that person that I probably was. That's probably part of the reason why it happened in a way, because he was always an advocate for me being back with my husband at the same
mm,
time. So it was
And
like,
I'm
in a
just
way, I
saying.
was blessed that that was the person that it happened with, because
dig
he
it.
constantly still steered me back to where I came from.
I'm just saying, I knew that he was a great guy, and I already told Erica, you get divorced. I'm still married to Fred. I didn't care about the other one. I'm
If we
sorry.
had got a
I was,
divorce, I would
I was
still be married to
biased.
Fred. Like
I
that
was
that's the
biased.
thing about us, right? And I
Hmm.
feel that with Will and Jada, I feel like even if they went their separate ways, Will would still look out for her with the same way Fred would still have my back, the same way he would still support me in anything I did. You wouldn't be able to tell that he wasn't my husband, even if
Yeah.
we had gotten divorced. If we were in the same place or we were somewhere, we would still be the same way we
Hey,
always
Harrison
are.
family.
Yeah. Well,
We
that's
just wouldn't be
history
having
right there.
sex
Yeah. Well, that's love right there. That's what
because
else
we're
could you call it
friends,
but
because
love?
we're
Yeah.
family. Like, he my family.
Hmm.
My husband is my dude.
Right. Right.
You know,
But
And
at,
yeah.
but
and
at,
that's
but
how
at
it
the same
should be.
at the same time is I already like it was things that Fred remind me of my father that I picked out already He ain't that kind of
he's
man.
a workaholic.
He a workaholic like my father is. He ain't that kind of man that's gonna be, I love you and all that
And he ain't
mushy
gonna sit
feeling.
around
No,
talk to you
he
about
ain't.
your feelings.
He ain't about damn feelings, but he gonna be there to help you. He gonna be there to rescue you. He's gonna be there to be a man and provide for you. He did all that for me and my kids and my family. So, is he a man? Like I told Erica, I said, let me tell you something. I would rather him not tell me he loved me every damn day. Okay. And he work, take care of our kids. They provide a healthy kids. And he come home every night, then saying he loved me and cheating on me. I don't need that.
Well,
Right. And it wasn't about that. Um, I think my thing was just about me, and it was about me kind of like impressing my stuff onto him in a way, right? Like I thought, like to me, I look at people and it's like I know I need to do my own work, and so it'd be like I'm looking at somebody else like you need to do your work, and I always saw that Fred had this potential emotionally to be greater than he already was, and I admit I was pushing for that.
He needs to
And
be in his
sometimes
own time.
pushing just pushes a person away.
Mm-hmm.
And what it did was it was creating a wedge in between us, because even though he might have not been communicating like I might have wanted, it stopped him from being a communicator at all. Because then it's like I'm only trying to do what you want me to do, and if I don't do it right, then I feel like I'm doing it wrong because I don't know how to. It just became this convoluted thing that kept growing in between us.
yeah.
Right? But then when I blew the shit up, it forced us to have to confront everything.
Well, I would say for myself, the one thing I have always done with every woman I've ever been with is I've never been afraid to tell them what I believe in, what I stand for, what I won't stand for, and I'm definitely, if we in a relationship, you're supposed to work with the person that you're with, not work against them. But you got to open your mouth up and talk. And sadly, many men, for whatever reason, that could be ego too. They just don't communicate. And women like
Yeah.
you got women that just talk for talk's sake, but then you got, I would say, I would think, generally speaking, women just want to hear where you're coming from, and so another only way to do that, you got to open your mouth. But a lot of dudes, be it from the way they were socialized or whatever it is, but I know, just speaking for myself, I ain't never had that problem with telling a woman what I believe, where I am, if I have issues, if I got stuff going on. I never had a problem with that. But the only way you're gonna get stuff done is you have to let people know where you are. And to Miss Lynch's point about that man thing, I referenced James Brown earlier. In that song "Papa Don't Take No Mess," it kind of went like Papa smart, Papa got a whole lot of heart, but Papa do his part when the game get hard. That's what a man's supposed to do. So yeah, that's exactly what he's supposed to do. So I kind of ran over my 4 minutes, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna drop down and thank y'all.
Too, when a man doesn't when a man child doesn't see the mama and the daddy in the home, okay, and then he only
Mhm.
sees his mama in the home, and he don't see the communication between the mama and the daddy, the love and the communication, he's not gonna be a good communicator. I'm just sorry, he's not.
You're right. I agree with you. You dead on.
He ain't gonna
You have to see a man to be a man. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with that.
I'm not saying Fred Daddy was there. He was there in his life, but I'm just saying he wasn't in the home, and he's a baby, so he was the baby. So if you don't see that communication, he ain't gonna.
Ironically, what we both realized in analyzing our situation ourselves, right? When that happened, it was the first time he ever talked to his dad about his dad being a cheater.
About what?
It was the first time Fred ever talked to his dad about his dad being a cheater. Because of course he was hurt. And he went to his dad. And he talked to his dad about it. Right? And he went to his mom and he talked to his mom about it. Mind you, we were in our 40s, right? And he had never once asked his mom why daddy don't live here growing up. He had and when we think about it now, we talk about it now, it's his mom who's not really an emotionally charged person. His dad actually was a very in touch with his emotions. His dad, unlike him, he didn't grow up with his dad in the home. He grew up with his mom, who isn't a big I love you person and things like that, right? She knows how to show it very well, but she's not super affectionate, and she's not going to be telling you, oh, I love you all the time. But his dad is like that, and sometimes it would make him uncomfortable when I would see him. Like, I would say, why you don't tell your dad you love him when y'all getting off the phone? And he say, all right, son, love you. And you just be like, all right, okay, dad. I'm like, tell your daddy you love him. But he wasn't modeled that with his mother. Like with his mother, he wasn't I love you all the time in that relationship, or how was your day, or sit down and come talk to me about how you feeling. That wasn't the nature of their relationship with his mother.
Okay. Well, I'll say this, then I'm gonna drop back down. Salute to Miss Winfrey. Just from what I've seen in my own life, like everything you said, that's Jimmy. That's my dad. And I said I was gonna do the total opposite. Should I have any children? I was 37 when I had Damaris, and I had the advantage of seeing my peers make mistakes with their children. And I said what I wasn't going to do is not talk to my daughter about anything. Damaris can come to me and talk about anything, but men, young boys, just not socialized that way. That's all. So it's just unfortunate. But I said I was going to break that in.
They so like talk to their mama. Oh, yes, they is. Mm-hmm. My son
Yeah, well,
lies when it comes to talk to me with him. But when it comes to
that
his
wasn't
dad,
Jimmy.
on the bush, they hide things and all this bullshit. And I'm like, did you talk to your daddy about this? But they like talking to their mama about how they feel and what's going on and how they feeling and what's going on. They
like I can see it in the difference with my own kids. Like I talk to them all the time. I had 2 sons. And man, my son Eric, the one that Andrea used to watch, I mean, he's so good with his girl, and they just had a baby, and it's just beautiful to watch them together, because he's so in touch with her emotionally, and he's so supportive, and he's so there. But that's from having, me. We always talked. We talked about relationships he was in, girls, sex. It was always me and my sons talking about stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies, again, thank y'all for having me on. I got moderating duties over in Jamaica, so I'm gonna holler at y'all
later. Good to see you again, Derek.
Yes, ma'am. You're doing good. Team Gemini, we can't be stopped. Period. All right. Y'all take care. All right. Bye-bye.
I really wanted to ask Derek a question, but I'll just save it. He'll probably tell me later.
Okay.
But here's the thing, y'all. Are we getting to a point in human history where we might honestly be able to say that certain people, certain individuals should not be parents?
True. Yes, I believe that. Hell yeah. Damn it, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember I used to say it would be great if you could have a village where, like, because I know so many of my friends, like, some of them are great with teenagers, some of them are great with babies, some of them are great with toddlers. Like, I wish you had a whole village, and it's like when you have babies, they go stay with the person that's great with babies. And when they become 5, then you stay here from age 5 to 9, and then when you or to 12, and then when you become 13, you go stay with the person that's good with teenagers.
That's it. Okay, I can see that, and especially the boys, they got to stay with their fathers.
Yes, at a certain age, and I believe that children.
Oh yeah, at a certain age, absolutely.
I think boys should go to their daddy around 7, 8, maybe 10. Mine went at 10. I think that's
okay.
But you got
that's all right.
But that mother, it's a difference. See, that mother got to be willing to say, see, I only had one son, and see, when I had that son, it was things I promised that he would never be: a criminal record, being anybody in prison, or having no baby early. Okay, so that was my promise. And so when me and my ex-husband broke up at 10 years old, no, he went at 11. So the year me and my son fought about that year. America could tell you. I was like, he ain't going to live with his damn daddy now and the new bitch he got. No. But you know, I realized something. My son says, "Mom, I love you to death, but I want to go live with my dad." And so I said, okay, the next year you can go. I packed all his shit and I told him this: what we not gonna do is this back and forth. You're gonna stay until you're 18. Act like I'm college. Visit me on the weekend. Okay? And that's what we did. Because I said being grown and acting grown is two different things. This is the grown decision you make, you're gonna stand on it. And when his dad kicked him out of the house, and he had a party, Lord have mercy.
I remember that.
Okay, he had a party and his dad kicked him out of the house. And I said, "You is dumb. Who does that?" I said, "We know who your daddy is. It's like a clean cut house." Okay. I said, "Why you call me and Erica? We would have came down there cleaned that bitch."
Gave you a party.
Okay. He would have never known that he had a party. We would came down there and cleaned that house up. It's dumb. Okay. But I told his dad, his daddy said, I'm sending him to Georgia. I said, "Oh, my dead body." I said, "You made a commitment you made a commitment to him and me. He gonna stay with you. Then what you gonna do?"
Okay, there you go.
That's part of their job. That's part of parenting. You don't get to send your kids off just because they make a mistake.
To your mama and daddy who old. I'm not saying I love the grandparents. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying they're older now.
Right.
They don't even raise no.
They can't corral kids.
Yeah.
Young. You might snatch them real fast.
So
that's. But yeah, all right. That was just I was thinking about that because I'm really leaning towards that that whole concept that everybody is made to all individuals are not supposed to be or meant to be parents. And I'm watching the ants, and you know how the ants have their colonies, and they have their caste system of societies, and they're the worker, they're the males that do this, they're the males that do the protection, they're the males, and they have a tier, and then they're the males that protect the queen ant, and the same thing with the bees, they do the same thing, similar. So it's just been very interesting to watch how even the insects that are supposed to be inferior to us have such a very awesome society, and they live that out. You know what I'm saying? They live it out. Those that are supposed to go out and get the food and bring it back, that's what they do. And those that only certain alpha males can mate with the queen. Only you can't be less than, and she's not going to allow it, or else she's going to kill you. See what I'm saying? That makes sense. You know,
it was something that my son said in the live to Lady P. Shout out to Lady P. It was something that my son said, and it's like I remember it to this day. My son said that he had his daddy in his life, and some of his friends didn't have their daddies, and half of them ended up in prison. Half of them had babies early. They experiencing things, and they couldn't tell they didn't have their daddy around. So even though me and their dad did not live in the same home, he still felt like he had a 2-parent home. And he had his daddy to not get in certain aspects of life, the gang life, the drug life, some of the pitfalls of life that boys go through and want to test their manhood. That he had his dad around. And so when I think about that, I was like, that was the one thing I promised myself. I only got one black son. I'm not losing him to the streets, to the gangs, or to the prison.
That's right.
And to my cousin, I shout out to my cousin. I love my cousin. My cousin is my favorite cousin. Okay, beautiful spirit. But my cousin, it keep doing bad things, go back to jail. So I had to cut him off. And I told my cousin this: how do I tell my kids to stay out of prison if I'm giving you money and I'm helping you? I gotta cut you off. I gotta let you go.
Okay, there you go.
And I told his mama. His mama. I said, I love him. That is my favorite cousin. That's my favorite boy cousin. And she's like, you gonna cut him off? Yes. Because how do I teach my son if I want him to stay out of prison, but I'm sending my cousin money in prison and he gambling in prison anyway? So how do I teach my son? How do I teach my son to stay away from that life if I'm a contribute to that life?
Right. Right.
And I love my
That's
cousin.
right.
He out now. Oh, we can talk now. You out. But when you was in there, I'm not helping you.
So time out.
I hope you stay out this time.
Right.
It's like, it sounds like it's like you're creating that baseline, right? Like
That's
that,
right.
like that baseline expectation, right? And sometimes, you know, because of circumstances in life, some people's baseline is in a different place than other people's. And if your baseline is your daddy was in prison and your uncles are all in gangs, and that's the baseline, then it's not hard to see how people end up in that, right? But like for Quentin and them, like that wasn't their baseline. The men in their life and the men that they saw on a regular basis and stuff like that were hardworking individuals who cared about family and cared about their reputations in the society in which they lived. And so having that baseline, it's like, yeah, they may have moments, right, where they fall below that. And case in point, that's when probably why he was sad and upset with himself, right, when he lost his job and he was crying because he know you can feel it when you go below that baseline that your family sets for you. You know it, you feel it, right? And you don't want to let them down. You know, because even though you might not have said directly to him, one thing you won't never be is in jail. You might not have necessarily said those words directly, but he could feel that through your actions and how you raised him.
Yes.
So he knew that being the age he was and not working and being self-sufficient, that it was like, okay, I'm falling below the baseline and this is not what my parents want for me. And I feel not only am I disappointing them, but it really should be that it's a standard for himself. For me, I think that's the key difference between Butchie and Dougie. My younger one is Dougie cares about how he feels about himself. And the residual of that is that I'm proud of him because he's making himself proud, right? He's not out here doing things to make me happy or to make his dad happy. He's out here being a great guy because he wants to be a great guy. And I think with my older son, it was more, I raised him more like how I was raised. Like, you do these things because your parents said so. You want to make your mama proud, your family proud. You want to make everybody proud. You want to do the best you can because you got the whole team on your back, right? I wasn't raised to think about how I felt about myself and doing things for myself and to make myself proud.
But I gotta.
So is there a balance?
Yes, it is.
Is there a balance?
I'm gonna add to this conversation.
There is a balance, but I think that the most important thing is about you, right? Because when you are proud of yourself, there will always be that a residual effect for your community. We all know what.
Not always. Not always. I mean, not always.
You're a psychopath, if it feels good to kill women, of course, that's not going to go over well with society. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are in a normal psyche, right? You want, everybody knows what happiness or what it feels to feel good. Like, we know the difference between good and bad. A child, a baby knows what feels good. They know what a hunger pain feels like. That's why they cry. They know what the pee feels like when the diaper is wet. That's why they cry. We all know what it feels like to feel uncomfortable or outside of where we should be. And so everybody
doesn't have that experience to know what feels good and love. Everybody doesn't have that experience. And everybody doesn't have that
experience, but we want to. You want to, though.
They yearn to, but they don't know how to. Okay.
But this is the thing. I think I got that analogy from my father. Okay. And I will say it this way. My father grew up in North Carolina in the mills and land and stuff. My Uncle Charlie was a big time drug dealer. My daddy
All
kept
right.
my daddy kept us away from North Carolina, and I never understood why until we had a conversation the other day about Uncle Charlie. He was like, Uncle Charlie lost all the land and all the hard work that Big Mama left us. She left us land, and we could have had houses on that land. But when Uncle Charlie became a big time drug dealer, the feds took it away. And my daddy said, I never looked back to North Carolina because it wasn't nothing good down there. I want to keep my family away from that. And so when I think about my uncle being in prison almost all his life now, and my daddy is the son who has made it out of North Carolina and made it out of having took 7 kids and raised them and to be somebody. And so I think of when my daddy talked about Uncle Charlie, he disappointed. Mm-hmm. And he said he could have been anything. That land was left to us. My mama hard sweat and tears on that land. And when the feds took it, it could be 5, 6 houses on that land. And so my daddy said, I threw it all away. I never looked back. And so I think that mentality for my cousin being in prison and having a son of my own, I had to change some ways. Now, when my son was a baby, yeah, I might help my cousin, but now he ain't a baby no more. He 11, 10. I gotta show him this ain't right. I gotta tell him this ain't right. I gotta walk this ain't right.
So do you think your uncle was looking out for the greater good, or was he just looking out for his own self-aggrandizement?
My Uncle Charlie, was he looking out for the greater good? No.
Was he looking out for the family, by gambling and things of that nature?
His kids, his family, his immediate wife, kids, yes, them, yes. So, and then when Uncle Charlie, go ahead.
So when he was looking out for his family he gambled and he lost, obviously, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
He lost, but he was gambling and he was gambling for his family. And I wanted to go back to the conversation that Erica was saying that everybody wants to do something. Well, Erica wants to do. Okay, so I'm just thinking that did Uncle Charlie, unlike your father, Andrea. See, your father wanted to do something for the family.
Yes.
But it seemed like, and not just his immediate family, like his daughters and wife and sons. He wanted to do something for the family. So that meant his sisters, his brothers, his mother, the whole 9 yards. Now, Uncle Charlie seemed like he wanted to, he was looking out for himself. He was just looking out for maybe his own. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just.
He was only looking out for his immediate family, and when the feds came and took everything, the family didn't know how to survive.
Is he older or younger?
Uncle Charlie is younger, and Uncle Charlie is younger. But at the same time, as my dad, even Uncle Charlie got out of prison and went back to that same bullshit. And now he's back in prison.
And that's the youngest person in the family kind of that happens, because the oldest, they're the ones that feel more responsible because they're the oldest. So they have more responsibility to the whole entire clan, to the whole entire family. As the youngest, you don't have anybody underneath you. It's just you, and everybody's kind of placating to you. Everybody's wanting to make sure that the youngest boy or youngest girl, whoever that, we protect them and we got them and they don't have to worry about anything. And they have big brothers and big sisters. They can go to this person for some money. They can go to this person for some food. They can go to this person to get sleep in the house, whatever. And they do those things.
At the same time as my daddy turned his life over to the Lord, because my daddy belonged to a motorcycle club, and a couple of my uncles got killed in motorcycles. But after he had 2 or 3 kids, he put up a bike because he said he didn't want us with nobody.
So let me ask you a question. Okay, because I see, and that's the thing that I'm getting ready to say about your father. Now he sacrificed, being in the because I like biker boys and biker girls. I like that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, mine is my group is called Peaches and Cream. However, I'm not giving up my bike for. I ain't giving up my bike for nobody. But see, and here's the thing. I love what your dad said. He sacrificed that for his family
Yeah.
because he wanted to make sure that his attention, his time was not going to be taken away with them, but his family was what was the most important. And I don't think that everybody feels the same, does the same thing, feels the same way. I think that there's some people who they dedicate themselves to their family. Others will be like, listen, I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's just that and done deal. And then there's others, maybe I think now in 2021, I think you too are teaching your sons to be able to, and I know others are teaching their daughters, balance that stuff out.
Yeah.
Don't lose you. Don't lose you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you wanna play that musical instrument, or you want to go and play that little jazz group down the street in a little juke joint, okay, do that and have fun. But you have family, you have responsibilities also, and don't get it twisted.
I asked my
So I think, and that's why I just want to say I applaud you mothers now, because I see where you all are really doing the most when it comes to helping to raising your children and helping them to balance out. Don't lose you, and do some things that you want to do in love and things of that nature.
It's a good
But
point.
however, not because but cancels everything out. However, remember, you had sex with that girl, stop playing. You put it in there, stop the freak playing. Don't blame nobody, and you better take care of them daggone children, my grandchildren, and we're gonna make sure that they have a house and things of that nature. We're gonna all work together, because we're gonna work it out, because we can and we will and we are. And that's what I see most mothers like you and others that are, I see Leota Linus and you and Real Mamas, y'all are definitely those kinds of people. Balanced children, balanced individuals.
But I asked my dad, and my dad said this: if he didn't give up the bike, he probably would have died. Because the way my uncle, how they was riding dangerous, and my dad was like, I think he had us, like he had.
So y'all saved him.
Yeah. So he said if he didn't give up the bike, okay, he would have died. Like two of my uncles died on the bike, and so after they died, he gave up the bike. He had 3 kids. He already had 3 kids. And so I asked him to this day, would he do it all over again? He said do it all over again. He would still give up the bike, because he feels like having 7 kids, they need their father around and need their father in the house. Even though he wasn't emotionally there for us, because he was always working, okay, but every day after school we had to go to work with him and my 4 brothers, so we still had to go hang out with him. But as he's older now and my mom's not here, he is more available now, and I see a different side of him. And I'm not mad with him anymore either. It was a side at the time I was mad with my father. I thought he could be a better man, and my therapist said this: if he didn't learn it from a father, if he didn't have the education and he didn't have the wherewithal to be a better father, how was he supposed to be a good father? So when she said that to me, I changed my approach to my dad. I meet him where he at right now.
Because it didn't nobody teach him how to do it.
Yes, he didn't have a father. And so I see him different now. I enjoy, even though he get on my nerves, he try to be telling me what to do, but I enjoy him now. Like I never had.
Thompson did the best he could. What was presented to him at that time.
To him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he stayed around though.
And
he stayed around.
Yes.
He stuck it out. He wasn't, I'm gonna see you later. And when the kids get grown, then you can, nah, he stuck it out.
Yeah.
See, sometimes, and I say this to a lot of my fathers that had children that are going to college. Go to the college campus with your children. You don't even have to say much. Honestly, the presence of a strong Black man is powerful. As a matter of fact, a real alpha male doesn't talk too much. You know why he doesn't? Because he don't have to. Why doesn't he? because his presence speaks for
Is enough.
himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yes, indeed.
when my daddy walked in
Okay.
the house was silent.
Oh, okay. And
Daddy here.
we get it.
Yeah,
We
daddy here.
know.
Yeah. So I really
You see what I'm saying?
believe it. Yeah.
Because and it was, that's the thing, that's why we talk about alpha males and stuff, in certain sectors and all that other kind of stuff and whatnot, all the guys is always rah 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 and all this talking and all this whatever. It's like, you already know. Go sit down somewhere, boy. Go, little boy, go sit
Where's the
yourself there.
lion always at in the kingdom, sitting under the tree in the shade, minding his own
What?
business?
What? What?
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. Period and blank, and that's
Taking a
it.
nap.
That's all. And
Yeah.
right. And as soon as the hyenas decide that they want to come up in a gang, he gets his tail right on it like a horned dog on it, and he snaps that hyena's neck. He don't even eat the neck. You know why? Because the lion says that hyena isn't even worth the meal. I'm just killing it and letting the rest of the vultures and the buzzards get to it.
Go back and
It's
sit up
not
under
even
my
a meal.
tree.
Yeah, let me go back after I done snap this neck. You know what I'm
Get him
saying?
up to my
But
nap. Right. You're right.
exactly. Mad because he's disturbed his whole, 3-hour nap. But yeah, and that's what I was just thinking. I'm really liking how I see some, like I said, I see families now really trying to, acquire. We're all trying to still acquire the balance and whatnot.
Yes.
And just an understanding that we all have purpose that is with us and our creator. The creator got us here, and the creator is the only thing that can take us out, and that we have a purpose that has to be in alignment and an assignment to what the creator wanted us to be here for. And not what somebody said, oh, you need to be a part of this harem, or you need to be a part of this polygamy, polyandry, polyamorous, and whatever, polysaccharide. I don't care whatever it is. It's all gobbledygook. You be in alignment with what the creator and in assignment what the creator wants you to do. Because you have each and every one of us have an opportunity to have that relationship with the Most High.
Absolutely.
Regardless.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing to seek out the most. And if your father thought, Andrea, that his thing was, I'll be better off, making sure I'm with my family than to be on that bike, then that was the ancestors and the Most High pushing his butt to be like, you stay your butt with your family, because there are consequences when you're in that life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Obviously, he adhered to it. He listened. He adhered to it, and he, tried to be the best daddy that he could, and he was there.
Yes. I mean, my brothers, they really hated going to work every day after school with my daddy. But my daddy was like, I don't care. You don't pay no bills up in here. he used to say all the time, you don't work, you don't eat. I used to say, oh, I hate that one say that. But he said it all the time. And then he very anal when it comes to the carpet. So he made us back in the floors. I was like, I don't like this. Mama, go home. She was like, what your daddy say? So I'm like, we had to go to work with him and back in the floors and how he wanted it. And I feel like it's as a parent, I gave my kids too much, because I remember daddy was hard on us. He was picky about things. Daddy wouldn't buy this for you. And I feel like at a little bit, I gave mine a little too much, and they didn't grow up like I did. And they didn't have
Let me tell you, these days, Fred just showed me, God bless, I'm gonna get in trouble if my sister ever watched this. He just showed me. So I told you I went to the football game on Friday, right? To see my nephews play. First semester of both of their freshman years of high school. And I go, we playing this whole thing out, all the family coming, and one of my nephews from the other team can't play. And instead of him, having consequences, right? Guess where they was at this weekend?
Where, girl?
At a Stanford football game. So Fred showed it to me. He say, you see this? He say, this is why there's so many issues, right? And I'm like, it's true. Because the thing is, I used to tell my kids all the time, you think I want to be the bad guy and I want you in trouble? I don't. Because for you to be in trouble, that makes me a warden. And I don't want to work in a prison. For me to keep you on punishment or a restriction or to take things away from you, that's work for me. I want you to do the things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to. The last thing I want to do is be sitting at home with you on a Saturday when I could be at the football game or when I could be having fun doing something else. But if you're on punishment, guess what, parent? Kids on punishment too. Like, that's how it used to be for me. I know. If my mama said you're on punishment for 2 weeks,
you
lockdown was locked down. You going to school and coming home. That's it.
And my mom, I said I was on punishment for like a whole year. My friend's like, can Andre come and skate? Mama said, if you tell your little friend that you can't come and skate, the next time she called his house, I'm gonna beat you. Okay? Because she getting her information from you. Okay. So when Quentin got an F on the football field, he was at the white school. Okay, the white school. Little kid said, Miss, how come Quentin can't play football? You know, what's wrong? Why? I said, because I don't raise no dummy. And I said, if he get that $1 million contract, can he read it? Can he read it? I'm just asking.
Exactly. It had to be.
He tore his ACL. Okay.
Everybody want to be so busy. Mama getting ready to go to Jamaica. Daddy going out to smoke cigars with his boys. Everybody got something to do, and everybody trying to live their best life. And you know, it's like, and I'm not saying you got to give up everything, because in retrospect, I would not do parenting the way that I, in my head, planned to do it. Like, I was going to just solely be focused on my kids, and I wasn't going to do for myself or take care of myself. I would have took care of myself more. I would have took care of my relationship with me and Fred more. You know what I mean? And I would have realized in retrospect that the most important thing to worry about is my relationship with my husband, because it's the foundation for the family.
I agree with that.
Because you can't have one without the other. And when the kids get gone, who's gonna be there?
Right. When the kids get grown, it's still me and you. And that's why you have a lot of these people getting to where they're 20 years in and they didn't raise kids. The kids get grown, and it's almost like a I don't want to say a letdown, not a letdown. What am I trying to say? It's almost like this huge release, and it's like your whole life and everything you've been grinding on for 20 plus years when you have kids, when that goes away and they go off to have lives of their own, it's like all of a sudden 2 decades later, you sitting there looking at somebody and you're like, who are you? Who am I? Like, if we're not getting up for a soccer game, a football game, a dance recital, going to, the assembly at the school, a pickup and a drop off, if we're not planning something about some kids, we don't even know who we are.
True.
No more. And that's where we were, because we were so hyper focused, right, on kids. We got to do this for the kids, that it was like we forgot about our own shit.
And, I did look at my parents, and the one thing I did remember, my mom and dad, even when we wasn't there, their big thing was they was going to casino together. They had date night together. When we all left that house, I did see my mom and dad the money was free. Money was free. Money was able to do things. They was able to go on vacation. I love each other a little better, do things, and her and dad would go on date nights. They would go to casino and hang out together. So I did see, even though we was all gone, I always wondered that mom and daddy gonna grow apart, but they didn't grow apart. It seemed like they came more.
What was cool for y'all? They had 7 kids. I mean, if I had 7 kids, I'd still have kids here. Even though some were grown, So when you have more kids, that process is drawn out longer.
Yeah.
So it's a slower process, right? Because one leaves and then you still have the other 6. Then another one leaves, you still have. So you gradually are learning, and all those things are happening gradually.
Yeah.
When like Veronica and Quentin.
Yeah.
It was like you had kids one day and you didn't have kids the next day.
Yes.
They graduated 1 year after the other.
Yes,
It was
it
like
is.
1 minute you was gung ho, full fledged, full force, full time, all in mom, and then next minute you got fired.
Yeah.
Your services are no longer needed here.
Yep.
You understand
So,
what I'm saying?
so,
There's
so,
no
so,
unemployment.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
so here's the thing, because as we, I'm not one of those that's a Bible thumper, Bible toting type person. However, there are certain ways in which that the Bible speaks about in reference to the parenting, and one of the things that the Bible talks about is that God, the Most High, loaned these children to you.
yes,
After a certain point,
they
they
are no
are
longer our
not
children.
yours.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Well, they're
That's
only
all.
ours to look after. They're only ours to look
That's
after
it.
until they can look after
Done.
themselves.
Yeah.
So that being said, I just hope that when just taking it the way that it is given with love, and that they're alone. They're alone to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and of course you're gonna still look after them. You're gonna still give them advice and give them direction. If they need a
Yes.
place to stay, of course you're gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that I think in that passage that's part of. So since they're alone and they're mine, after they're mine, work on yourself in the meantime, as start transitioning yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't plan.
That's the
Because
part
a
and
guy
and
who
and,
had been
and,
doing it for like
right.
3 decades, I didn't even plan that part. Like,
that's the part that when my daughter turned 18 and she graduated, I wanted to see the therapist because I thought I was losing my damn mind. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with myself. I don't got a man.
And the thing is that both of you are still too young, way too young, to be talking about, oh, well, all my children, and then that's it. I'm not doing anything anymore. I'm just gonna lay down and die. Hell no, you're too freaking young. You just got
no,
started.
and it's
So
not.
your
It's not that.
relationship,
It was
not
it was
that.
it
It's
was
that I
the
didn't.
empty nest.
I wasn't
There was the
ready.
empty nest.
Right.
again, listen to what I'm saying. Exactly. Right. You're still too young. The Most High has work for your black behinds to do. And you
Absolutely.
got to get out there and do it and create your relationship with the Most High, because y'all have businesses to open up. You have people and places and things to visit, so that you can, now you living your best life. You see what I'm saying?
But I think for me at the time, I felt like I didn't have time to take care of myself. Okay, so when my daughter,
Got you.
when my daughter graduated, I wanted to go see somebody because I don't want to argue with her daddy for the rest of my life. So I wanted to go see somebody, and some of my relationship with, even with my father, my mother, and some of the relationships I was having, my communication skill was not good. So I needed somebody to help me communicate better and process things better, and to let some of the hurt, the pain, the disappointment of not having that marriage either. So it was a process of letting all that out, and now I'm able to free myself and do whatever I want to do and be the Andrea that I want to be. I'm not no longer Veronica's quitting mama. Yes, I'm their mother, but they don't need me. So now I can work on me.
And you didn't have to create a space or feel like you was taken away from them to do it. It's like all of a sudden that space is open for us to do it. Yeah. And you're having that space to sit with yourself and reevaluate everything you like or don't like or are interested in or want to do with your life moving forward. But sometimes when it's like it's like almost being in college and graduating and not knowing what career you want to go into, right? And a lot of college graduates say, I'm depressed because I knew everything. I had a whole plan up until college graduation. You know what I mean? And it was
yes.
Right. It's almost like that. It's like you graduate college when your kids all of a sudden grow up, and it's like if you don't already have plans about what to do. I mean, for me, even when I graduated high school on a Friday, that Monday, I was taking my first college class at the community college. You know what I mean? It was like the train didn't stop, but then all of a sudden it came to a screeching halt and I just wasn't ready. I hadn't planned this all.
Yeah. No plan.
So
I tell women, try to work on yourself, even though you're raising kids. Try to plan something to make you happy. Try to do something for you, because you can lose yourself in your husband, your kids, and figure and turn around and don't know hell who you are. Because when I remember this in therapy, and my ex-husband told me I did this shit to him, and I was like, no, I didn't. You lying. I woke up one morning and said, I don't know who the hell I am. I don't want to be your wife or the mother of your children. Okay, I don't know Andrea anymore. And he told me I said that, and that's the day he moved out. But when I was talking to my therapist, I remembered, and she helped me remember. I told him that, and I swear up and down he was lying. I was like, you lying? I ain't never said that. But he told me. I woke up one morning. I was like 20, 26, 27. I don't want to be the wife or the mother of your children, because I don't know who I am.
Wow.
And that's the day he moved out. He was already cheating. Okay, let's be honest, tell the truth. But that's the day he moved out.
Okay.
And when I was in therapy, I remember I told him that. So I was angry and mad and told him I didn't play a part in him leaving. I did, because I wanted out. I just didn't remember. I blocked it out for so many years.
Because subconsciously, that you realized that's what you really wanted, was just to be out, to be able to explore who you were. And we talked about that too, because I remember you saying that you really didn't want kids right away, that you really had a plan too. Yeah. And it just so happened that the person you married, that wasn't their plan. Yeah. And you was taught, like your mom, to kind of like go along with what your man wants.
The husband is the head. The husband is the head. The husband is the family man. The husband is everything. And I was like, okay, mama. All right. I love you, but not for me. But I still have old school ways. But as I'm older, I want a partner that we can communicate, we can like things. And me and my ex-husband, as I'm older and as we talk, and even though we're not friends, we co-parenting, it's some shit he still do to get on my damn nerves. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I married your ass. I'm so glad. So we wasn't did I marry him? And I think about this all the time. Did I marry him because I knew he was a good provider? Yes, I did. Because my daddy trained him in the profession that he worked in. So did I know he was going to have good money? Yes, he did. Did I love him in a sense? I cared about him. Did I love him when we got divorced? Probably I did. But did I love him when we got married? No, I didn't. So I love him now because he is the father of my kids. God, I thank God every day because I got 2 older sisters and baby daddies ain't worth shit. So even though me and Ronnie had these kids, he always promised that he was going to do the best by the kids. Now, did he do best by me? Hell no. But he did best by his children. And that's all at the end of the day my therapist said I can ask. So it is what it is.
I have a question. You ready for this, both of you? Okay. Okay. When you got married, you were taught that you should be a virgin when you were married, right?
Yes.
Erica? Okay. Okay. So, fast forward. Andrea, you kind of already there, right? Because you're going on your second, go around, right? What would happen if you're on your second go around? Do you believe that you should wait before you get married to that person and have sex with that person?
Hell no.
I don't think so. I don't think that now.
Okay.
I don't think that now.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
That's why I ain't gonna do. Okay.
I think you should be selective. But I think that once that person, if we in a relationship and I'm really looking at you like we gonna be together, it's like we gonna have to ride the ride and see how it go.
Yes.
You know what? I think that is something. I think that is a question that all women. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't care what socioeconomic, ethnic, culture, whatever. If you're gonna go, if you have an opportunity to get past the first divorce situation, and then you're going into another situation, and even if you are married and still married, as you get older, most women would say, "Hell no, they wouldn't wait."
Right.
No. And let me tell you
Very
something.
interesting.
I will tell you this. The men along the way, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad they came in my life. Because the things that a men along the way, I wasn't doing in my marriage. Okay. Because I was one of them church girls saying, mama said that's nasty. So I appreciate the older men that came in my life. Okay, because they taught me a lot of things. Okay. So I appreciate them, love them to this day. Appreciate.
Oh, that's nice.
Now I know how to communicate. I know what I want. I know what I don't like, and I can say what I want in the bedroom.
I remember that's what I told Dougie when Dougie had his first real heartbreak, and he came to me crying and upset with his sweet self, and I explained to him that all the relationship is to teach you about yourself. Everybody who come into your life is there to show you something about yourself. Right? So you learn more about yourself because of their perception of you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was like, all that relationship did, Dougie, was teach you what you do or don't want in a woman. If you look at the relationship and you're like, I'm sure there are things that you really loved about that person. And there was some things that you was kind of like, this ain't really cool, but you still stayed in it. Right. Even when I said something to his current girlfriend now about their relationship, and we were talking about the old girlfriend who asked him and would ask him to make certain sacrifices, right, that compromised things that he wanted in his life. I asked him, I said, would you do that for Tyler? Would you do that, for your daughter's mom? And he was like, no.
Oh.
And at first I go, why wouldn't you do that for Tyler? Like, she's the one who deserves the sacrifices that you made, right? And he go, Mama, let me tell you, the reason why I wouldn't do that for Tyler is because Tyler wouldn't ask me to do that for Tyler. And that's why I'm with Tyler.
Okay. Wow.
When I be talking, don't you?
Wow. Okay.
It's like, it's nothing better than when you come with what you think is some type of nugget of knowledge, right? And then your kid comes back at you with something to trump what you thought was some knowledge. I was like,
right.
You gonna be all right. I was like, you gonna be all right. Because you're right. Tyler would never ask you to compromise. Just like when TC was talking about, doing things for yourself and stuff like that. It's like he still does things to make himself happy. And he's with somebody who's cool with that. Like he plays rugby. Right. He goes all over the United States and does tournaments. He's been playing rugby since he was in high school. And just because he has a girl now and they have a life and a daughter, and I thought maybe he would, that it would fade away. And then the first time he called me, he was like, Mom, can you look up a plane ticket for me? And I was like, where you going? Like, he just had a baby, a couple months, 3 months ago, right? And he's like, oh, I got a rugby tournament in Montana. I said, you still playing? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. That you're still doing your thing, and you still showing up as a father, and you still showing up as a partner, and you still showing up as a king in our community.
Right. There you go. And see, and listen, and that's see, he broke the code. Just what you just said. Hey Rico to Brad. I see. Okay, okay. You know
Yeah.
why? Because when you show up as the father, when you show up as a king, and you show up, you take care of your responsibilities, and you do the things that you should be doing, and making sure that your queen is taken care of. Guess what? To a couple, 3 days to go doing something, to go do something for you. A
Mm-hmm.
true queen would be like, go ahead, honey, do your
Mm-hmm.
thing, because she know when you come back, you're gonna be missing her, you're gonna be missing the baby, you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
missing, just and then, but he's gonna be
He was
fulfilled
full.
because he did something that he wanted to do, that was his,
Mm-hmm.
and
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 which
and he's
which
coming
gives her
home.
permission to do the same.
And there you go. And when they come back, and when they get together, that baby gonna be, that's her daddy. Her daddy is home, and he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna see her face, and he's gonna just melt like jello.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna, and you see, and it's those feelings, those endorphins start to work. That love, that's that
Yeah.
love.
And you're right. He did break the code, because that's what his dad and I didn't do.
Right.
We
Got you.
had
See.
kids, and our lives became about those kids.
Mm-hmm.
And just that, like I wasn't, I mean, I ain't gonna say totally completely, I mean, Andrea know that, because
I ain't lying. I was on vacation. Ronnie hit these kids.
we would catch a flight in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes, Lord.
No, see, y'all so bad. Y'all are bad. I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, check this out. I'm mama 360. I need a vacation. It keep getting on my nerves. Ronnie getting on my nerves. I need a break. I was
Gotcha.
Erica said we leave the town
for as
when.
long as I could, TC, and then finally I was like, you know what, I'm coming with you.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I was like,
And it's funny. It's funny because, like, now, we have election time. This is my time. This is when I'm on grind. This is when things are happening, and my queen, she just steps out, and you got this, you got that, you're eating, you're doing what you need to do, blah blah blah. Here's what you need for election day, blah blah blah, because I'm frantic and nobody really needs to be around me when I am wah wah wah. And then, and it's election day, I get over it, and then I come back to my senses. But this is my time, because this is my
Right.
thing. You see what I'm saying? And it's respected, and things of that nature. You understand? And then we'll go away, or we'll, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And like I said, the same thing for, like, now she's on respite herself, because I'm going all crazy. It's time for her to, whatever she wants to do.
Mm-hmm. And
You
she know
see,
you busy and taking care of your business. She's great.
you
And
did.
when y'all come, like you said, when y'all come back together, everything is
There you go.
golden.
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
I told my mother this. I said, let me tell my mom, I love you to death, but I ain't babysitting no grandkids right now. Okay, Andrea gonna be on a cruise somewhere. Gonna be doing this, doing that. And so when I got a divorce, and the judge said, because he was so picky about this, I don't want anybody watching my children. Okay. So the mediation paperwork was said, if one parent out of on vacation, the other parent had the children. Oh, I was calling all the time. Ronnie, I'm out of town. I'm leaving tomorrow. Yes.
Okay.
You drop them off in mama house. She down the street. Mama house. She down the street. I'll drop them off over there. But I was leaving the kids. I found more enjoyment, and I would tell the kids. They was like, "Mom, where you going on a business trip? Minding my business."
Ooh,
I would
you see
tell my
that?
business trip. But I tell that I'm going on business. Minding my business. Mm-hmm.
On a business trip.
Yeah, I call it business trip. But
Minding my business. I love it.
It was my time, because the kids was not with me. I was raising the kids, and I found like I was ready to live life. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to travel. I wanted to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a freelance photographer. And I was taking photography classes, and I love taking pictures. And so I was like, I am not gonna be my mother. I love her to death, but I am gonna get on a plane. I'm gonna see the world, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. And so that's why I decided to go on cruises. My first cruise, I was 30, 32. My first cruise, it was Jamaica, the Grand Canyon Islands, in Mexico. My first cruise. I called my best friend. I said, "Hey, let's get our passports and go on a cruise." She was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." She ain't got no kids. I don't got no kids, and we went on a cruise. And I love traveling. St. Martin and St. Thomas were the beautiful places that we ever have traveled, and so that's why I feel like traveling is the best place. I tell my kids all the time that traveling before you have some kids. Because when you got buy them Jordans and them shoes, them diapers, you ain't gonna have time to go and wear.
Let me ask you a question, and then I'm gonna go.
Uh-huh.
Three places that each of you haven't been, would like to go, or even if you've been there, you want to visit it again. Your top 3 places that you would like to visit, not cruise, actually just go and visit. Top 3.
Okay, one is Jamaica. I'm already going there till July. That's one already. Now the second one, I want to go visit St. Martin and St. Thomas. They're beautiful. I want to go out there. My third is one place in Mexico that I wanted my girls to go for my birthday this year, but they all tell me we got Christmas, your birthday's in January, so they was like, hell no. But it's this place in Mexico. It's beautiful for adults only, no kids.
Okay.
I don't want to see no kids on vacation.
You know what?
No kids.
No kids.
I think I want to do like I think I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Bali, and then I want to go somewhere else that's not a tourist attraction. I should say. Mm-hmm. Like I want to go to a destination and kind of not be a tourist and go for the culture, if that makes sense. But I don't
absolutely
know where that is. Yeah.
Okay. I have 3 places: South Dakota,
Nice.
Greece.
I was gonna say Greece. Greece is nice.
And Maine.
Okay.
Maine.
I want to go get some lobster.
I want a crab paw. Invite me.
Yes.
We can because
I have friends
and everything.
Yes, because I have a friend of mine. He goes every single like around May. Mm-hmm. And he's actually Jamaican. He's from New York. No, he's Haitian and Jamaican. Mm-hmm. His wife is Jamaican, and they have a place in Maine. And like you see Bullwinkle, you see moose and everything, and they eat moose burgers and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know about eating a moose burger. Yeah. But I'm gonna. Yeah, but the seafood
Maine will be fun.
But it will be fun at a certain time of the year. Absolutely. So yeah. And Greece, it's just something about Greece. I have got to see
it. Yeah, it always seems so beautiful.
Just very. It's not tourist. It's touristy, but it's history too.
Yes.
History. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna
get off this live. I got to
cook.
Thank
you, TC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your evening and keep up the good work. Don't be hard on yourselves.
With everything.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. I guess we're done.
All right. That was a good conversation.
It was.
It was a really good conversation.
Yes.
We always, anybody who know us when we talking, they always know, but we go off to the left whenever we start talking about something. Yes. But that's true in real life, though. It's like to know us in real life is like when we have conversations, it's like a run-on sentence.
Yes.
You never know where the story is going to go.
Hopefully we'll be back this week. We still gotta talk to marriage in Huntsville because Miss Wanda was off the motherfucking chain. So we need to have a conversation about that. And Miss Wanda, we will be back. And
Miss Wanda, your twin. Yes, we do gotta talk about love and marriage Huntsville. Yes, we definitely gotta talk about Miss Wanda.
Miss Wanda is not my twin. But I get Miss Wanda. Okay, I understand her real good. My twin. I understand Miss Wanda.
Every time me and friend watch, you be like, I got a friend just like that.
But I
in a good way. In a good way. You know good well when that boy get married, that is gonna be you.
I ain't gonna be all up in their business.
So I might tell me. So this is what we do now.
I ain't gonna be all up in their business, but I might have to say something. Shoot, I'm his mama, whether you like it or not. Shoot, I'm here to stay. Okay. I had to call my ex-husband mama. I had to call her today, and I said, you know what? Word on the street is, I didn't like you because my ex-husband was a mama boy, and my son is not a mama's boy. Okay, and what he done to me, Ronnie would never do that to you. And so the Lynches said, I can't have it both ways. No, that's what they told me today.
You can't have what both ways?
I can't have it both ways. I can't have that daddy was mama's boy and I was always complaining about him being mama's boy, okay? And then my son is not a mama's boy, and now I'm going to call his daddy and cuss his ass out.
Your son is a mama's boy. What are you talking about? Yes, he is.
Not what he does
to warm up water in the microwave to put over your
He ain't a mama's boy.
That's a mama's boy.
All of a sudden, he got this new girlfriend. He ain't a mama's boy. Okay, my girl is getting off work. This clock. I got to go.
I mean, not a mama's boy in the sense that he be kissing your ass or something, but like a mama's boy, like in the sense that he gonna always look out for you. Like even in the times when y'all have argued, it wasn't like the stuff that Quentin was saying was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just want more for his mama. When he see you moving and shaking and doing shit, when he say you making moves in your own life and he see you happy, he don't never have a problem. And then it opens the space for him to come to you with his problems because you're the mom. Right? Mm-hmm. And so in order for me to feel like my foundation is safe, I in a way, some ways I need to know that you're good. Or else I don't feel safe. So you being good makes him feel safe. So when he come at you like, you know, what's going on, get your shit together, and he coming at you mean and y'all arguing, really is he saying something that's not true? Sometimes no. It's just hard to hear from your kids. But now it's they there for us now, like we've been there for them their whole lives. You know what I'm saying? Because they grown-ups too, and the only way he can say what he says is because you taught him that.
Mm-hmm. I guess
it's just hard to hear. For me, it's hard to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I know it's hard to hear when it comes from our kids.
Okay,
and it's hard to say. When you're the kid, right? When you talk to your dad about being better and y'all making amends now and you telling him what you need from him and all, it's hard to do that. You got to sit with yourself and plan it out and you know and think of a way to say it because I don't want to offend them and I respect them so much and I love them so much, but I know we could do better. I have those same conversations with my parents and they're hard conversations because I don't want them to be embarrassed. You know, so it's like we sandwiched in between the two right now. Like right now in the phase of life we in the sandwich. You know, you got kids on this side, we still have parents on this side, and we sandwiched in the middle. And in a beautiful way, learning from both of them, and they learning from us. So
yes, so we will be back this week. I guess I assume we'll be back this week. And we'll be back this week, you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming in. We appreciate everybody who showed us love. And thank y'all. And sorry we ain't been on.
Thank you.
Real life is weekend.
And thank you to the people. I just want to say thank you to the people who came through and everything. Mm-hmm. I know, like Andrea said, we haven't been on here or what have you, but those of you who have liked, subscribed, who have stayed faithful, who have still rocked with us even when we don't be on the platform that much and we be busy being mothers and sisters and friends and wives and confidants to everybody around in our immediate space. We appreciate that you guys still rock with us, still here, and still riding. We're gonna give y'all some more content.
We will come back with some different conversations. We will come back with just being ourselves, because that's all we can. Bye.
Bye.